Chapter 1643. Who, for some reason, once Lin Fei left, they heaved a sigh of relief. That shameless fellow didn't just kill rulers right in front of them. More importantly, he didn't give them any face at all. He knew that they had a backer behind them and still dared to rob them in public. That was all they had. Now that Lin Fei left, they heaved a sigh of relief. They were really worried that Lin Fei would do something again. That damn Lin Fei also knows how to run. This is his final act of madness. Unfortunately, he's about to die in the hands of this big shot. I really want to kill Lin Fei with my own hands. Everyone was filled with resentment. They had never hated a person so much before. The yellow-robed man appeared very quickly. As soon as Lin Fei left, he appeared right after. There was only a few breaths of time between them. Seeing the resentful faces of everyone, the yellow-robed man understood what had happened. How interesting! I didn't expect the little guy to turn around and cause trouble for them. The yellow-robed man didn't care at first. Now he was a little curious about this little guy. He can't be killed just like that. If those old things find out, I don't know what they will say to me. The little guy really bought time for himself. When the yellow-robed man arrived, no one dared to make a sound. This was a big shot that they had to be careful of in their previous lives. They had only heard of his name, but had never seen him before. I already know what happened here. You don't have to worry about it. The yellow-robed man waved his hand, and an auspicious light landed on their bodies. No matter who it was, whether they were injured or not, they were instantly healed. So come. The ancient voice reverberated. Rays of broken light gradually appeared and gradually formed a human figure. They were all dumbfounded by the scene. Was he going to resurrect the people who had died before? Could such a heaven-defying method be used? How strong did one have to be to do that? Familiar figures gradually appeared in front of everyone. However, their faces looked a little blurry. As the fragments continued to merge, they became clearer. Wake up! The ancient voice sounded again. The light dissipated and revealed the rulers. They were all those who had died in the hands of Lin Fei. They still had expressions of despair on their faces. Didn't I die? Haha, I'm not dead. What's going on? They woke up from their despair, looked at the people around them, and then looked at the yellow-robed man, and immediately realized what was going on. This big shot made his move. If it weren't for this big shot, they probably wouldn't have had the chance to be resurrected. All right, you've all been resurrected. Now I'll send you out of here. The yellow-robed man seemed to have done something insignificant. He tore open a space, and a wave of energy wrapped around them, sending them into the space. At this point, there was no one else here. Reviving people is really troublesome. Fortunately, they are not strong, but their potential in the future will be greatly reduced. The figure of the yellow-robed man gradually dissipated. At this time, Lin Fei still did not know the methods of the yellow-robed man. Right now, he was constantly passing through space after space. He didn't care what was in front of him. He just kept passing through space. Lin Fei knew very well that it was impossible to shake off the yellow-robed man. What he did just now, in the eyes of the dominators, was nothing more than a final act of madness, confusing them. In reality, Lin Fei was robbing them for energy points. Since he had already offended them, Lin Fei might as well offend them thoroughly. Little Devil immediately take all the holy stone mines and convert them into energy points. After plundering a large number of storage rings, almost every one of them had a holy stone vein, and it was not just 3 or 5. There were dozens or even hundreds of holy stone veins. With these veins, it was enough for them to fight for a long time without having to worry about not being able to replenish it. All right. The little devil transferred all the storage rings into the battle fortress. Battle number 1 also became a labor. The yellow-robed man shouldn't be able to catch up so quickly. Lin Fei looked back. With this look, Lin Fei saw a figure. It was the yellow-robed man, who appeared behind him at a steady pace. Damn, so fast! Lin Fei didn't plan to shake him off, but he didn't expect him to be so fast. Little guy, you're very interesting. You're fine after absorbing 80 to 90% of divine power, but you don't have much divine power in your body. I'm very curious, where did your divine power go? Lin Fei instantly felt as if he was being stared at by a ferocious beast, and his hair stood on end. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The surrounding space became like mud. Lin Fei only felt that he couldn't move forward, as if he was being suppressed by a force. This force was very strong, enough to affect the space in this area, cutting off all of Lin Fei's paths. They're capturing me for research. Lin Fei didn't want to fall into the hands of the other. If the secret of the system was discovered, he knew very well what would happen to him. Even though he wasn't sure if the other had the ability to do so, he could easily affect the space. If he wasn't careful, he might really find out something was wrong with him. Open for me. The celestial saber appeared in Lin Fei's hand, and he slashed forward. Boom, boom, boom. The terrifying power crushed over. Lin Fei found that the space around him loosened, so he once again flew forward. He raised his saber and slashed down, continuously breaking the space to buy himself some time. Little devil, how's the exchange going? Lin Fei quickly contacted the little devil. Lin Fei didn't think that it was possible to get out of this space with his own methods. If he wanted to completely get rid of this man in yellow, he would have to rely on the battle fort. As long as he had enough energy points, Lin Fei could activate the shuttle function of the battle fort and ignore the obstacles set by the man in yellow. Soon. Hold on a little longer. I'm already at my limit. Lin Fei suddenly stopped and turned around to face the man in yellow. You're a big shot. As for me, I'm just a nobody. Lin Fei said with a bitter face. Hee, why aren't you running? Weren't you very good at running before? The man in yellow said calmly, You even dared to kill those lucky ones and wasted some of my methods. You really know how to torture people. You're so powerful. Where can I run to? Lin Fei said helplessly, But if you want to kill me, you have to consider the consequences. I was arranged by chaos. What Lin Fei needed to do now was to buy time. As for how to buy time, Lin Fei could only rely on chaos. He believed that this big shot would be very interested. As long as he could attract his interest, he would have time to escape. I already knew you were from chaos. Only that bastard chaos would do such a thing. The man in yellow was not surprised. Unfortunately, chaos has been suppressed for too long and forgot everything. I can resurrect all the people you killed. You're destined to work for nothing. Lin Fei blinked. You resurrected them? This was the news that Lin Fei didn't want to hear the most. Resurrection is a small matter in my eyes. What I'm curious about now is, what kind of existence are you? You're not a special life form, and your bloodline is only the bloodline of a deity. How can you contain so much divine power that even I can't see through it? Will you tell me voluntarily, or will I check it myself? You should know that you have no choice now. The man in yellow's only interest in this little guy was this. He didn't care about anything else. He had seen many geniuses, special life forms, and even some ancient existences, but he had never seen this kind of physique. Just now, when the little guy made his move, he saw it and even observed it, but he couldn't see anything. He could only barely sense that the divine power had descended without warning, as if the other party was a medium. This made the man in yellow want to find out more. Lin Fei finally understood why this person kept chasing him. It was for this matter. Master, just hold on a little longer. It'll be done soon. Lin Fei still didn't move, afraid that he would notice something. I don't know this either. You can only ask that fellow Handan. Seems like you're not willing to say it. Then I'll search your soul myself. I believe I'll know everything. The man in yellow didn't take it seriously and said calmly. Lin Fei hurriedly stopped him with his hand. If his soul was really searched, Lin Fei knew that he was finished. Even if the other party didn't kill him, He might be imprisoned for the rest of his life. Maybe he would even become a research subject. There's no need to search my soul. I'll speak. I'll tell you everything. Lin Fei said hurriedly. Senior's body is priceless. It's not good for this kind of thing to spread. It's better for me to say it myself. The man in yellow wasn't afraid that the other party would play tricks, because no one could play tricks in front of him. Not even Hundan. The other party was just an ant. He could squash it however he wanted. I heard from Hundan that I seem to have some eternal body. I'm innately unrestricted. I can absorb a huge amount of energy. Lin Fei said nervously. In his heart, he started to make up nonsense to fool the other party. Eternal body. The man in yellow frowned slightly. This was the first time he heard of this kind of physique. That's what Hundan said. I was born with eternal body. Senior, do you know about eternal body? Lin Fei asked curiously. This was also the first time the man in yellow heard of this kind of physique. However, he was more suspicious. No matter how he looked at it, this guy was really ordinary. He wasn't in the heavenly god realm, but he could actually use divine power and be so tyrannical. I've never heard of eternal body. However, I'm more interested in your memory. The man in yellow reached out and grabbed at Lin Fei. Lin Fei suddenly couldn't move. He was suppressed by a force. I'd better search your soul myself. That's more interesting. If you dare to search my soul, I'll dare to self-destruct. You won't get anything. It's okay. If you die, I can resurrect you. You'll never be able to escape from my palm. The man in yellow said carelessly, Little devil, are you done yet? If not, your master will be finished. Lin Fei asked. The man's strength was too strong. No matter how he struggled, he couldn't break free. Done. Hua. A strong force tore apart the man in yellow's power. A huge battle fort appeared. Lin Fei took the chance to enter the battle fort. Where do you think you're going? The man in yellow punched the battle fort. The battle fort shook and entered the space. The man in yellow chased after him. A war angel appeared and blocked in front of the man in yellow. The man in yellow reached out and smashed the war angel. The man in yellow could no longer see the battle fort. Chapter 1644. The yellow-robed man didn't chase after him. He seemed to know how powerful the battle fort was. Using a war angel to stop me? How could this little guy think of something like that? If I knew he had a battle fort, I would have just searched his soul. The battle fort was a famous top-notch war weapon of the war race. Not only was it powerful in battle, but it also had a powerful teleportation function. If his main body was here, he could easily stop it. Right now, he was just a strand of divine sense, so his power was limited. You're the leader of a region. You didn't expect to lose to a little guy, did you? A figure suddenly appeared in the space. It was the suppressed young Hundan. The yellow-robed man didn't make a move. He just watched quietly. Hundan, you've become smarter. Where did you find this little guy? It's a pity that his bloodline isn't high. He'll at most become a god king in the future. Otherwise, his future will be limitless. The young Hundan laughed. Aren't you the best at divination? Why don't you do it yourself? So this little guy isn't yours? That's interesting. The yellow-robed man laughed. The young Hundan had actually arrived when the yellow-robed man attacked. He heard that there was such a person who didn't die under the leader's hands. He wanted to save him. Perhaps he would become a good helper. He's not mine now, but he might be mine in the future, the young Hundan said. You've planned for so long and arranged for your chess pieces to be reincarnated. I'm afraid you didn't expect that it would be ruined by a little guy. Even you, the leader, suffered a small loss. If the people above knew about this, they wouldn't be able to sit still and delay their ascension to Empyrean God by 100 or 200 years. The yellow-robed man said calmly, There's always an accident. Back then, you were the most famous god king. You even had the chance to inherit that person's orthodoxy and become the sole ruler of the world. In the end, you were suppressed in the lower realm for 1,000,000 chaos years. The young Hun Dun's expression changed. Yes, who would have thought that you were a bunch of shameless fellows and would make a move on that day? Unfortunately, you didn't gain anything. All of you were injured by me. I don't know if your strength has improved after 1,000,000 chaos years, or if you've broken through that barrier and ascended to that position. The yellow-robed man's expression finally showed a trace of unnaturalness. Although we didn't gain any advantage, you aren't any better off. The wheel of history has already begun, and we look forward to our next meeting. Let's see if you can withstand my attack. Don't worry, that day won't be too far away. I'll come back sooner or later and take back everything that belongs to me. I'll also suppress all of you in the lower realm and let you experience the loneliness of 1,000,000 chaotic years. Young Hun Dun swept away the vicissitudes of life, and his gaze became fierce. Ha ha ha, let's wait and see. The yellow-robed man laughed heartily and turned into specks of light that filled the sky, disappearing into space. Cough, cough, cough. As soon as the yellow-robed man left, the young Hun Dun coughed out blood. His face quickly turned pale, but he was still smiling. You are still so cautious. You are afraid that you will fall into my ambush. Cough, cough. If you weren't so cautious, how would I have been able to scare you away? That little fellow is quite interesting. He actually tricked the cult leader. Sooner or later, I will meet you again. Cough, cough, cough. Lin Fei felt like his body was about to collapse, and he kept coughing up blood. Unlimited divine power, hold on for me. The divine power from the system continuously surged into Lin Fei's body, stabilizing the god crystals one by one so that they would not collapse on the spot. Even though Lin Fei had entered the battle fortress and avoided the misfortune of being searched, the yellow-robed man's attack was still very terrifying. 2/3 of the magic formations and restrictions in the battle fortress had been destroyed. Lin Fei himself was also heavily injured and almost died. He activated his invincible defense and diverted part of the force, but there was still a part of the force that landed on his body. He only managed to stabilize this ferocious force by relying on the massive amount of divine power. Master, you won't die, right? Lin Fei rolled his eyes. Do you want me to die so that you can dominate the system? Master, I am just worried about you. I don't want to go into hibernation again. That kind of life is really boring. I still prefer my current life. Then why don't you take a look and see if that guy has caught up? Master, we are safe now. Just now. I continuously activated the shuttle function and teleported 10 times in a row. Each time, I went in a different direction. He can't catch up. The system has already recorded his aura. As long as he comes within a certain distance, we will know. I can guarantee that Master won't fall into his hands. Lin Fei finally let out a sigh of relief. He sat down and used his divine power to eliminate the power in his body. By the time Lin Fei recovered, half a month had already passed. In this half a month, Lin Fei was constantly fighting with the yellow-robed man's power. Finally, he managed to get rid of the last bit of power. The yellow-robed man's power is too terrifying. He almost killed me with the battle fortress between us. Lin Fei stood up. He looked a lot more tired. The only thing he was glad about was that he escaped from the yellow-robed man. Lin Fei took out the dragon meat from before and roasted a large pile for himself. He also took out some immortal wine and ate it happily. Lin Fei really didn't want to run into this kind of thing again. After eating and drinking to his heart's content, Lin Fei felt much better. He looked around and realized that the battle fort was moving under the endless starry sky. Little devil, where are we now? Master, you're awake. That's great. The little devil flew out and landed on his shoulder. We are now under an uninhabited starry sky. This starry sky is very strange, and I don't dare to move too far. Now that Master is awake, I don't have to worry anymore. A very strange starry sky? How did we get to this place? Ever since Lin Fei fought against the yellow-robed man's power, he had blocked off everything. Naturally, he didn't know what had happened in the past half a month. How could he know that he was in a strange space? The little devil shrugged. I don't know either. I just know that the guy that day was too scary. I activated the battle fortress and kept teleporting. And then we came to this space. The situation was too dangerous at that time, so Lin Fei could only order the little devil to do so. Now that they were in this strange space, Lin Fei couldn't say anything. At least he survived and didn't need to see that terrifying yellow-robed man. Lin Fei appeared at the top of the battle fortress. What a desolate place! Lin Fei immediately felt the desolation under the stars. This was a very desolate place. There was almost nothing in this vast space. Occasionally he would see some stars, but they were filled with a deathly aura. There was no life on them. Chapter 1645. P.S. Today's 5th update, 14,000 updates. I'm so tired. I haven't asked for monthly votes in a long time. I'm asking for a few monthly votes. Also, I wish everyone a happy Lantern Festival. Lin Fei continued to observe for a long time, but did not see anything unusual. I don't know where I am. There's no one around. It's not easy to know where I am. Lin Fei sighed and returned to the battle fortress. Battle number 1. Activate Hidden Mode. Since he did not know where he was, Lin Fei decided to stay put. Roger that. The battle fortress stopped. A layer of light flashed, and the huge battle fortress turned into the size of a speck of dust. It was not as big as before. Once the battle fortress was hidden, Lin Fei released the 7-colored ruler. The 7-colored ruler's strength increased very quickly. Back then, he was still a 6-star ruler. After obtaining Lin Fei's resources, his strength also increased by leaps and bounds, and he quickly became an 8-star ruler. Master, did something happen? As soon as the 7-colored sovereign came out and saw the destroyed restrictions, he was given a big fright, and he asked worriedly, "Young master, what are you doing?" 2/3 of the restrictions in the battle fortress were destroyed. The entire battle fortress was obviously damaged. This was why Lin Fei had to stop. He had to repair the battle fortress first. Under the unknown starry sky, the surroundings looked very mysterious. If he wanted to leave this place, Lin Fei still had to rely on the battle fortress. He could not fly slowly by himself. Lin Fei did not doubt that if he flew slowly by himself, it would take a long time. If that really happened, it would be too late. Nothing much. We just met a terrifying guy. We're very safe now, Lin Fei said casually. He did not want to say too much. He was worried that he would scare the other party. The 7-colored ruler didn't continue asking. To be able to damage the battle fortress to this extent, just how strong was the enemy? Right, take a look at the situation outside. Do you know where we are? Lin Fei asked. Outside. The 7-colored ruler looked with his divine sense. His beautiful eyes were filled with surprise. We're out? We're not in the divine general space anymore. Of course not. That place no longer exists. What's going on? Lin Fei gave a simple explanation of the situation, such as the fact that there was an important figure suppressed at the foot of the mountain. The rainbow ruler found it hard to believe that such a thing could happen in a sacred place. I was wondering why I came out. The 7-colored ruler came to a sudden realization. Lin Fei really admired Rainbow's way of thinking. This place seems familiar. I think I've heard of it before. Suddenly, a hint of unease flashed across the 7-colored ruler's face. Master, why are we here? Lin Fei couldn't tell her that the little devil was controlling the battle fortress. You came here without knowing anything. Do you know where you are? I've never been here before. I've only heard of it. I remember them saying that in the Endless Territory, there's a place that's one of the 3 most dangerous places. It's very similar to this place. It's called the Dark Night Star River. No one knows exactly how big it is, but they do know that it's very dangerous. Dark Night Galaxy. Lin Fei had never heard of this place. Yes, When Master passed by this place, did you often see uninhabited stars with no life and a deathly aura? Lin Fei hurriedly asked Little Devil. It was just as Rainbow said. Ever since he entered this starry sky, all the stars he saw were the same. There was no life. There are some stars, Lin Fei replied. What does this have to do with the dark night star river? The seven-colored ruler explained. It's very important because these stars were all devoured by the dark night galaxy. Legend has it that the dark night galaxy is a special life form. It doesn't have any intelligence and only knows how to devour. No matter what it is, it will devour it. All kinds of empires, worlds, star continents, they will all be devoured. That's awesome. Isn't it similar to Hairball? Lin Fei released Hairball. There's someone more awesome than me. Hearing that there was something more awesome than him, Hairball became dissatisfied. Call him out and compete with me. Let's see who's better. Lin Fei said, I'm in his stomach now. Who do you think is awesome? Hairball's eyes widened and he shrunk his neck. Then he's indeed more awesome than me. The seven-colored ruler laughed. No one knows if the Dark Night Star River is a special life form. I heard it from others. I only know that the Dark Night Star River is very long and no one knows its end. Many people drift in the Dark Night Star River and go to other places. It's said that they drift for tens of thousands of chaos years or even hundreds of thousands of chaos years. Therefore, there are many powerful races living in this Dark Night Star River. This is also the most dangerous place. After listening to Seven Colored's explanation, Lin Fei had a better understanding of the Dark Night Star River. Although he still needed to confirm whether this was the Dark Night Star River, Lin Fei was sure that this was the Dark Night Star River. This feeling was unique. He knew that he had come to an unknown and dangerous place. Lin Fei decided to repair the war fortress first. This was what he could rely on to leave this place. Battle number 1, are you sure? Repairing this place requires 1 billion energy points. Calculate carefully. Lin Fei pointed at a depression on the battle fortress. That was where the yellow-robed man had struck. Now, there was barely a layer of energy blocking it. From this position, the yellow-robed man's attack had crushed all the way and destroyed 2/3 of the array. Battle number 1 nodded. The enemy's attack was very powerful. It almost broke through the battle fortress. If Master wants to repair it, you'll need at least 1 billion energy points. The array here also needs 500 million energy points to repair. In addition to other aspects, you'll need about 800 million energy points. Lin Fei felt a headache coming on. The yellow-robed man's punch was really going to make him bankrupt. Little Devil, how many energy points do I have now? Master, while you were recuperating, I've already converted all the holy stone veins and exchanged them for a total of 3 billion energy points. There's still 3 billion energy points. That's good. Lin Fei breathed a sigh of relief. Master, you're wrong. We've been moving all the way. In addition to the long-distance travel that day, we've used up 3 billion energy points, the little devil said without any conscience. Now, we're left with less than 6 billion energy points. Lin Fei was dumbfounded. After robbing so many storage rings, it's only 3 billion energy points? The little devil curled her lips. 3 billion energy points is already a lot, okay. So, if I want to repair the battle fortress, I still have to own more than 200 million energy points? In addition to the moving and shuttling, there's still a gap of 800 or 900 million energy points. The little devil nodded. Logically speaking, 800 or 900 million energy points is not enough. If this is the Dark Night Galaxy, it'll definitely be dangerous. Master, it's best to summon a few war angels to scout the way. No matter what, you have to prepare 5 billion energy points. Even if you sell me, I can't get 5 billion energy points now. Must this gap be repaired? Lin Fei pointed at the gap. He could vaguely see the imprint of a fist. In his heart, he cursed the yellow-robed man 100 times. It must be repaired as soon as possible. If it's not repaired, if we want to travel long distances again, this gap will be broken open. It'll be very disadvantageous for us. Battle number 1 said expressionlessly. Lin Fei also knew that it was impossible to delay the repair. This gap was only a thin layer. No matter how he looked at it, it did not look safe. If they really met a strong guy in the dark night galaxy, they could easily break the battle fortress. Then let's fix this gap first, Lin Fei said helplessly. Battle number 1 moved quickly. 1 billion energy points were transferred over. At the gap that was broken, the original materials began to squirm again and began to repair the gap. In the blink of an eye, there were only 600 million energy points left on Lin Fei. This was too fast. Lin Fei was secretly glad that he had robbed one of the 10 young masters that day. Otherwise, he really did not know what to do now. The battle fortress needed to be repaired, and there was no end to it. It would take a month. During this month, it could not be moved and could only remain in its current state. Repair it then. Since he was here, Lin Fei was not in a hurry to leave. There was no point in being anxious. That day, how many divinity points did I use to block the yellow-robed man's attack? Master, it's best to be mentally prepared. I'm already prepared. Lin Fei was very clear that even the battle fortress was like this, let alone himself. The little devil began to report. That day, you activated the invincible defense. As your invincible points were exhausted, you could only use divinity points to transform them. 1 divinity point for 1 invincible point. With that punch, the invincible defense evaporated 2 billion divinity points. Cough, cough, cough. This was even more terrifying than the 2 gazes from before. 2 billion divinity points. Even a rich man could not afford to spend it like this. There's more. In resisting the opponent's power, Master consumed another 4 billion divinity points. Lin Fei's eyes widened. Are you kidding me? The invincible defense only used 2 billion divinity points. Why did I use 4 billion divinity points next? I earned these divinity points bit by bit. Master, please be quiet for a while. The little devil reminded. The invincible defense is a concentrated defense, but the opponent's power is too tyrannical. Although you blocked the attack, it still invaded your body and almost caused your body to collapse. This requires divinity points to support it, so the consumption is naturally more. I don't need to say the rest, Master. Lin Fei waved his hand. No need to say more. Actually, Lin Fei was already mentally prepared for such a large consumption of divinity points. The yellow-robed man was not a dominator, nor was he a celestial god, but an expert stronger than a celestial god. He could revive people with 1 hand, so the power of his attack was naturally not as simple as imagined. Using about 6 billion energy points to leave from his hands, Lin Fei was already very satisfied. Chapter 1646. In a vast territory, demon mystic sects mountain gate. At this moment, be it the sect leader or the elders, all of them had solemn expressions. As you said, all of this was done by that Lin Fei. Not only our demon mystic sect, but the other sects are also unlucky. Lin Fei was killed. The demon mystic sect leader's expression wasn't very good. The sect leader didn't know what to say about such a huge matter. Blame Lin Fei. That was for sure. The sect leader even had the intention to kill. This matter had a huge impact on the demon mystic sect, especially the 8 great sects and 7 overlords. It was inevitable that the demon mystic sect would be implicated. The elders under the sect leader all had ugly expressions. Young Master Dark Saint was the pride of their demon mystic sect, but he brought back such bad news. Not only did he not become a heavenly god, all the benefits were snatched away by that damned Lin Fei, which meant that the demon mystic sect didn't gain anything this time. At the very least, young Master Dark Saint would become a heavenly god in 1 to 200 years, which was barely good news. After young Master Dark Saint was sent out of that space, he immediately rushed back to the demon mystic sect. He was ambushed a few times on the way, but he returned safely. Senior brother sect leader, I'm going into seclusion. Young Master Dark Saint was in a bad mood. It was a pity that Lin Fei died in the hands of that big shot. Otherwise, young Master Dark Saint really hoped that he could personally take Lin Fei's head after breaking through to vent his anger. The first time, Lin Fei could run back from that big shot, but he definitely wouldn't have the chance to do so a second time. In everyone's eyes, Lin Fei was definitely going to die. You don't have to feel burdened. As long as you become a heavenly god, our demon mystic sect will still obtain the greatest benefits. The sect leader said indifferently, in the following days, you should go into seclusion. Young Master Dark Saint left the hall. Not long after he left, he officially announced that he would go into seclusion. Everyone knew that when he came out, he would definitely be a heavenly god, and the demon mystic sect would also welcome glory. Next, a mission fell into the hands of the Extermination Lord, who had just become an inner sect disciple. Encircle and annihilate those who are in contact with Lin Fei. After receiving this mission, the Extermination Dominus more or less knew something about it. That day, he was lucky enough to leave the Divine Mountain under the protection of powerhouses. Although some people died on the way, the Extermination Dominus still made it to the demon mystic sect alive and became an inner sect disciple. Is there a problem? An inner court elder asked in a deep voice. The chief sovereign of extermination shook his head repeatedly. No problem. I'll go make the preparations right away. The demon mystic sect was about to vent their anger. If you, Lin Fei, die, the people who are related to you will not benefit from it. The demon mystic sect's thoughts were so simple. This time they had lost too much face, and they couldn't help but find someone to vent their anger on. Dark Night Galaxy. After a few days of observation, Seven Colored was sure that this was the dangerous Dark Night Galaxy. On the 5th day after Lin Fei woke up, a group of galactic ghost corpses appeared in the Dark Night Star River. They were formed by drifting experts and were invulnerable. After learning that it was the Dark Night Galaxy, Lin Fei could only sigh. What kind of luck was this? He had just come out of the wolf's den, and in the blink of an eye he was in the tiger's den. He still didn't know how to leave. Lin Fei decided to become a heavenly god first. No matter how terrifying the Dark Night Galaxy was, as long as he advanced to the heavenly god realm and the battle fortress was repaired, Lin Fei was confident that he could leave the Dark Night Galaxy. It was just a matter of time. In Lin Fei's opinion, becoming a heavenly god was not difficult. It was useless to rely on the system. He could only use divine power to condense a divine spark. Lin Fei sat in the depths of the secret room where the battle fortress was. Layers of array restrictions were set up outside. Lin Fei released 18 primordial clones. Now, the 18 primordial clones were all 9 stars peak ruler. They could stop anyone who broke in and buy time for him. I wonder if these divinity points are enough to condense a divine spark and let me become a heavenly god in one go. Lin Fei thought silently. He took a deep breath and began to condense a divine spark for the first time according to the steps analyzed by the system. The divine power flowed into Lin Fei's body like a long river. Lin Fei went into seclusion to become a heavenly god. Battle number 1 was in charge of repairing the battle fortress. After the 7-colored ruler learned about the cause and effect, she also went to cultivate. In particular, Lin Fei gave her a lot of resources. In the battle fortress, Hairball was the most leisurely. This fellow's body was also emitting traces of divine power. This is too boring. I'm going to take a stroll nearby. Furball easily exited the battle fortress and began to stroll around. Tui, 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 these things are too disgusting. Hairball strolled around. After receiving the benefits from Lin Fei, Her strength had also improved by leaps and bounds. Most importantly, her physical body had become even stronger. Hairball could easily deal with the galactic ghost corpses wandering in the dark night galaxy. There were only 2 or 3 stars ruler realm. After tasting them once, Hairball did not want to eat them anymore, because they were too disgusting. Hairball's range of movement was also expanding. With her powerful shuttling ability, she could enter any star without any obstacles. Until one day, Hairball came to an uninhabited star. This uninhabited star was even bigger than the stars she had seen before. It's another uninhabited continent. How disappointing. I'm so hungry. Is there nothing good to eat? When Hairball did not sleep, she would constantly look for food. On the dark night galaxy, Hairball really did not find anything delicious. Apart from those corpses, there was almost nothing good. That was why she was wandering aimlessly. It's all because Master is in seclusion. He still hasn't come out. Hairball looked at her stomach and heard a rumbling sound again. Ah, I seem to smell the aura of immortal beasts. Just as Hairball was about to leave, she suddenly smelled the aura of immortal beasts. With a shuttling ability, she chased after them. In another corner of the star continent, she found a sealed place. It was a sealed grassland. On the grassland, immortal beasts were leisurely strolling. Hairball's appetite immediately increased. It had been a long time since she saw immortal beasts. She broke the seal and entered the grassland. She released the aura of the primordial evil dragon, scaring these immortal beasts into prostrating on the ground. Crack! Hairball ate one immortal beast in one bite. Feeling that it was not enough, she went to eat a second, then a third. After eating 10 immortal beasts, she patted her stomach in satisfaction. There are so many immortal beasts. I'll catch them all and raise them. In the future, when Master is in seclusion, I will also have immortal beasts to eat. The foodie Hairball did not even think about why there would be immortal beasts on an uninhabited star. They couldn't just appear for no reason. She was now constantly catching immortal beasts. Every time she caught one, she would smile and send it into her space. There was an immortal venerable there to manage the immortal beasts. I'll catch a few immortal beasts and let Rainbow Fairy roast them. They will definitely taste great. Chapter 1647. Lin Fei's seclusion was longer than expected. The estimated time was longer than he had imagined. Even he did not expect that it would take so long to condense godhood. By the time Lin Fei came out of seclusion, 10 years had passed. 10 years wasn't a long time for someone like Lin Fei. On the contrary, it was just a blink of an eye. Master, you've become a heavenly god. As soon as Lin Fei came out of the secret room, Seven Colored hurried over. In the past 10 years, Seven Colored often came to take a look. When the secret room's stone door opened, Seven Colored came immediately with a smile on her face. Not yet. Lin Fei shook his head. It's not easy to condense divine spark. I've only condensed 1/3 of it. There's still 2/3 left. It might take a long time. Ah, Seven Colored was surprised. Lin Fei himself wasn't surprised. Condensing divine spark looked simple, but it was much more difficult than he imagined. During the process of condensing, if there was no one to guide him, he wouldn't be able to condense later on. Lin Fei didn't know how many times he had failed. Until now, he had condensed 1/3 of the divine spark. At this moment, there was a phantom of divine spark at Lin Fei's dantian. 1/3 of it was real, while the remaining 2/3 was illusory. He needed a large amount of divine power to replenish it. I can be said to be a heavenly god now, but a fake one. Although Lin Fei had condensed the phantom of divine spark, the rest seemed simple. He just needed to pour divine power into it and completely condense the divine spark. It sounded simple, but it was actually very difficult. A large amount of divine power was needed. Lin Fei didn't dare to use up all of his divine power, even if he absorbed 80 to 90% of his divine power in one day. When condensing 1/3 of the divine spark, Lin Fei chose to stop. After some hesitation, he decided to postpone the condensation of divine spark. According to the system's estimation, if he really wanted to condense the remaining 2/3 of the divine spark, he would need a large amount of divine power. Once he became a heavenly god and had divine spark, Lin Fei's divinity points would be very little. Lin Fei needed to keep his trump cards hidden in the dark night galaxy so that he would not be able to do anything in the event of an emergency. To Lin Fei, the celestial god realm was nothing more than a meaning. Now that he had divinity points, which were on the same level as divine power, there was no limit to how much he could use them. After becoming a heavenly deity, even if one's physical body was shattered, they wouldn't die. As long as they had a divine spark, everything was fine. This was even more powerful than flesh regeneration. After all, the Godhead was extremely hard, and within the same realm, no one could break it. As long as the Godhead could return to its original state, one could cultivate a new physical body. Master, you're amazing! Seven Colored was mesmerized. From the time she met Lin Fei to the time she became his maid, not much time had passed. Lin Fei had become an Empyrean deity, far above the sovereign level. Being worshipped by a great beauty, Lin Fei was quite proud. Although he was a fake god now and was a bit weaker than a real god, this did not affect Lin Fei at all. He did not rely on gods to make a living. Lin Fei came out of seclusion. Battle number 1 came to report the situation. 10 years had passed in the battle fortress, and the damaged areas had long been repaired. The arrays and restrictions inside were also gradually recovering, but the time was very slow. Lin Fei still had some divinity points left. In order to leave the Dark Night Galaxy, the remaining 600 or 700 million energy points had to be used on critical matters, and definitely not in a place like this. Battle number 1 was sent away. Lin Fei then asked about the situation outside, such as what had happened in the Dark Night Galaxy in the past 10 years. Fortunately, everything was fine and nothing bad had happened. Seven Colored remembered something important and immediately said, "Master, if you want to talk about something really happened. Hairball went out 8 years ago and never came back. We also looked around, but there was no trace of Hairball. It was as if she had mysteriously disappeared." Hairball disappeared. Lin Fei was really surprised. That should be the case. Ever since they came out of that space, Lin Fei had given Hairball freedom. In addition, with his divine power to improve her body, as long as she did not encounter a powerful opponent, she could come back safely. Now, she had actually disappeared. Let me contact her. There was a connection between Lin Fei and Hairball. After a little sensing, the connection between them was still there, but it was very weak, as if it was isolated by something. Something really happened. Although Lin Fei had guessed it, he was still very surprised to come to this conclusion. Something had happened to Hairball. Although it seemed like nothing had happened, Lin Fei also knew that Hairball was definitely trapped somewhere and could not come out. Even the place that isolated Hairball's call for help was definitely not ordinary. Seven Colored was also anxious. She had a good relationship with Hairball. When she heard that something had happened, she wanted to save Hairball, but was stopped by Lin Fei. Hairball is fine for the time being. We don't need to be too nervous. However, this is Dark Night Galaxy. Maybe Hairball met the drifters you mentioned and those who like to hide in Dark Night Galaxy. Lin Fei was very confident in Hairball's defense. We need to be prepared. We can't go there recklessly. Seven Colored calmed down and knew that she was too anxious. Lin Fei returned to the secret room again. This time it was not for seclusion, but for his 18 primordial clones. After his strength had improved greatly, the 18 primordial clones had been kept by Lin Fei and had never been used again. After absorbing a large amount of divine power, the 18 primordial clones' strength had increased by leaps and bounds. They had become the most important helpers in one fell swoop. Lin Fei had to make some more primordial clones. The things from the lottery last time really came in handy this time. Fortunately, I didn't take them back. Lin Fei laughed. A huge metal box was taken out. The moment the metal box was opened, divine light rushed out. Fortunately, there was a formation in the secret room and the battle fortress, so outsiders could not detect it. If someone was there and saw the contents of the metal box, they would definitely scold Lin Fei for wasting God's gifts. Such a precious item was actually stored in a crappy metal box. These precious things were naturally heavenly God equipment. In layman's terms, they were divine armaments or divine clothes. On the way, Lin Fei had been drawing lottery every day. Most of them were experience points, but he had also obtained a large number of treasures. Let me see what treasures are suitable for my primordial clones. Lin Fei was not satisfied and took out 6 more metal boxes, all of which contained treasures. Divine armors are a must, one for each person. Although the primordial clone's defense was very strong, only slightly weaker than divine body, Lin Fei still had to prepare divine armors for them. Different colored divine armors were quickly put on the primordial clones. He took out 18 divine armors at once. Although they were low-grade divine armors, it was enough for Lin Fei. Even a heavenly god would not be able to break the primordial clone's defense. Chapter 1648. Lin Fei attached great importance to the 18 primordial clones. If it weren't for this opportunity, Lin Fei could forget about leveling up his 18 clones in one go. Even a pig could become a flying divine pig. From the day he easily beat up young Master Darksage. As long as one wasn't a fool, they could see how powerful the 18 primordial clones were. Unfortunately, they were also stuck at this step because of the cultivation technique. Lin Fei was already very satisfied in his heart. Once the 18 primordial clones were formed, Lin Fei needed to prepare equipment for them, especially after knowing that Hairball was in unknown danger. He couldn't wait to prepare them. The treasures from the previous lottery were finally put to use. Since he was going to arm them, Lin Fei planned to arm them to the teeth. Every clone was precious. Losing any one of them would make his heart ache. With the 18 pieces of divine armor on their bodies, the 18 clones became awe-inspiring. It wouldn't be easy to find 18 clones in the entire territory. I have clothes. How can I be short of weapons? There were also many weapons in the metal box. There were swords, sabers, spears, fans, and a series of other weapons. Lin Fei equipped them with swords, sabers, and other weapons. Moreover, he made sure that every clone was different. He, with low-grade divine armor and low-grade divine weapons, their attack power will definitely be good. No matter what, everyone will be afraid of them. After distributing the low-grade divine weapons, Lin Fei was still not satisfied. It seems like there are treasures with attributes in the metal box. No matter what, I have to wear a few. Lin Fei started to toss and turn again. He found many necklaces. These were all low-grade divine weapons with some special attributes. He didn't care about the consequences and put them on. Not fast. Wear a pair of combat boots with acceleration. As long as he could think of it, Lin Fei would equip them. Done! After tossing and turning for a long time, Lin Fei looked at the 18 clones and laughed foolishly. Master, you are really shameless. If those heavenly gods meet your 18 clones, they will probably turn and run. Little Devil ran out and flattered. Lin Fei said seriously, you're wrong. I'm not being shameless. I'm just feeling sorry for my doppelganger. If I lose one, who knows when I'll be able to get it back. Full body armor is a must. Little Devil really admired his master's shamelessness. These words sounded dignified, but it made sense. All of you attack me. The attacks of the 18 clones landed on Lin Fei at the same time. Even though Lin Fei had a divine body, he was still grimacing in pain. This attack was truly painful. Even he was in such a state, let alone others. Lin Fei did not forget one important thing, which was to create a god power cyclone in their bodies, which could condense strands of god power. The 18 clones took Lin Fei 3 days to leave a divine power cyclone in their bodies. From now on, he would not have to worry about running out of divine power, which would affect his strength. Lin Fei didn't let them learn any techniques either. They could just use low-quality divine weapons to attack. Who could withstand the attacks of 18 clones, especially with low-quality divine weapons? Lin Fei didn't believe that those people could compete with him with low-quality divine weapons. If they dared to do so, they would regret it. Lin Fei came out of the secret room again. After enjoying Rainbow's barbecue, he controlled the battle fort to chase after Hairball. Lin Fei could sense where Hairball was. Hairball was still fine. Lin Fei wasn't in a hurry. He quickly got close to where Hairball was. There seems to be a star in front. Lin Fei and Rainbow were both standing on top of the battle fort. They could see the situation in the dark night galaxy. Lin Fei carefully observed for a moment before pointing at the star. If I'm not mistaken, Hairball is on this star, so there shouldn't be any mistake. Before they got on the star, Lin Fei put away the battle fort. It was overkill to use a battle fort in a place like this. Lin Fei and Rainbow got on the star. The star was silent. There were no signs of life. Lin Fei didn't think so. Since Hairball was here, it must be related to this place. The connection in his mind was getting closer. Go there. Lin Fei didn't move fast. He was wearing the deity battle armor. 7-Colored also had an inferior grade god robe. When she first saw it, she was shocked. She had never seen an inferior grade god robe before. Although it could not be used to defend, it could be used to defend passively. Lin Fei had added god power inside. With such a low-quality divine armor, 9 Stars ruler wouldn't be able to kill Rainbow. This was also Lin Fei's consideration for Rainbow's safety. Master, look, there's a sealed space over there. Rainbow suddenly pointed into the distance. There was a green grassland. Hairball, that fellow, he must be gluttonous again. Lin Fei followed her gaze and saw the sealed space and the moving immortal beasts. He immediately understood why Hairball was in this situation. Strange, there's no sign of life here. Why are there immortal beasts? Is someone raising them here? Lin Fei stared at the immortal beasts. They weren't illusions, they were real. Rainbow also saw that it was strange. Don't tell me those drifters took root here. Lin Fei couldn't guess. Maybe let's go take a look. With 18 doppelgangers armed to the teeth and the system around, Lin Fei was not afraid of any powerhouses inside. If they were easy to talk to, he would be polite. If they really thought that he was awesome, he did not mind using force. However, they would have to make the first move. After all, they were in the wrong. Soon, the two arrived outside the sealed space. The immortal beasts inside were still eating leisurely, as if they didn't notice them outside. Come, let's go in. Lin Fei placed a finger on the seal and walked in with 7-Colored behind him. Ha-ha, ha-ha. As soon as he entered, the desolate and deathly stillness on the outside was replaced by a vibrant aura. What a beautiful place! Rainbow couldn't help but exclaim. Lin Fei nodded. It's indeed a good place. It seems that someone lives here. The moving immortal beasts didn't panic when they appeared. They were still lazy, showing that they were very docile. Master, these immortal beasts should be domesticated and have lost their vigilance. Rainbow said softly. Let's go take a look. The two flew at a low altitude. Everywhere they passed was a vast grassland. There were immortal beasts everywhere. They were all docile. When they saw them, they just looked up and continued to move. After the time it takes for an incense stick to burn. On the vast grassland, a blue ocean appeared. There were many islands standing on the ocean, giving off a very peaceful aura. Master, look at that thing. Rainbow opened her mouth and pointed at the huge shadow above the island. Chapter 1649. Needless to say, I saw it all. Before 7-Colored could speak, Lin Fei saw a huge figure appear above the island. F*CK giant dragon. No, it's the dragon race. Lin Fei kept blinking. wondering if he was seeing things. There was actually a dragon race in the Dark Night Star River? What kind of joke was this? Lin Fei had heard that the dragon race lived in a territory called the Dragon Race's Territory. It was a forbidden area for the dragon race. Not many people were willing to enter that territory. It really is someone from the dragon race. Seven Colored rarely saw someone from the dragon race because they were very domineering and arrogant. Plus, the dragon race was a powerful race to begin with. No one dared to oppose them. Everyone knew one thing. The dragon race was very vengeful. Why is there a dragon race here? Master, what do we do now? Seven Colored looked at Lin Fei, not knowing what to do. The dragon race approaching them had an extremely powerful aura. It was an 8-star ruler. It would be very difficult for Seven Colored to deal with it. Don't attack later. Let's watch first. Lin Fei was also very curious. Why would someone from the dragon race be on this planet? Could it be that this was a secret place of the dragon race? A crafty rabbit has 3 burrows? Anyone who saw this scene would inevitably have such a thought. The dragon race was a very united race. Otherwise, they wouldn't be a unique existence in the territory. Only a few races could compare to them. It was obvious how extraordinary they were. The huge figure arrived very quickly. Human race. Hegemin Longyang had been sleeping. As soon as the aura of a living person appeared, Hegemin Longyang immediately sensed it and flew out. Because of what had happened a few days ago, he had become very cautious. Seeing a man and a woman appear, Hegemin Longyang was in a bad mood. He disliked humans the most because they were all sly and cunning. They were very difficult to deal with. Damned humans, go to hell! Hegemin Longyang spat out a terrifying dragon breath without saying anything. It turned into a black wave that swept towards them. Not only did the dragon race have strong physical defenses, but they also had powerful long-range attacks. Dragon breath attacks were one of them. F***CK, is this necessary? Lin Fei did not expect the Dragon Clan to not give him face and directly attack. He pulled Seven Colored behind him to avoid being attacked by the dragon breath and blew at the black dragon breath. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Hegemin Longyang didn't take the man and woman in front of him seriously at all. He was an 8-star Hegemin, after all. He was completely confident in his ability to deal with anyone. The black dragon breath that flew out was blown away. We're just here to look for someone. If you still want to attack, then I'm going to attack too. Lin Fei was not in a hurry to attack. Our Black Dragon Islands do not welcome humans. I don't care where you came from. If you intrude, you will die here. Hegemin Longyang was a bit surprised, but he still didn't hold them in any regard. Hua! Hegemin Longyang's enormous body moved, and a black shadow swept out. It was his dragon tail. This casual sweep was enough to severely injure an 8-star sovereign. Lin Fei could already tell that these people wanted to kill him. They didn't want to hear his explanation at all. They wanted to force him to use force. If they could stop and listen to him, perhaps Lin Fei wouldn't attack first. After all, anyone who could name this place Black Dragon Islands was definitely not weak. Unless absolutely necessary, Lin Fei really didn't want to attack. Now that they were attacking, Lin Fei wouldn't show any mercy. The draconic tail slammed into Lin Fei's body. The attack didn't hurt him at all, and it really didn't count for anything. Hegemin Longyang let out a sound, and Lin Fei reached out and grabbed the tail. Down! Lin Fei grabbed the tail and sent his enormous body smashing into the sea. Boom! Seawater shot into the sky. Hegemin Longyang's head was spinning. Before he could recover, he was grabbed again and smashed into a nearby island. Rumble! The entire island sank, creating ripples on the surface of the ocean. You. Who are you? Could it be that you were sent by them? That's right, you must have been sent by them. Hegemin Longyang tried multiple times to shake off his opponent's hand, but to no avail. He suddenly felt a bit more shocked. For this person to be able to easily subdue him meant that he had to have the power of a 9-star sovereign. Lin Fei couldn't be bothered to reply. He grabbed the dragon and smashed it into the island. Every time he smashed it, an island would sink. In the blink of an eye, more than 10 islands had fallen silent. He Gemin Longyang was seeing stars. Roar! Powerful auras emanated from the depths of the island. Clearly, the people in the depths of the island had noticed the commotion here. Reinforcements had arrived. Damned human brat, as long as the main force of our dragon clan arrives, you're dead. He Gemin Longyang was feeling quite frustrated. Upon hearing the commotion, a look of delight appeared on his face as he threatened the enemy. Lin Fei waved his hand, and he Gemin Longyang was sent flying, smashing into the body of an enormous dragon that had just flown out. Master, you were so cool just now. Rainbow was mesmerized. Even a powerful dragon was like a punching bag in his master's hands. I think so as well. In the past, if Lin Fei had wanted to do this, he probably wouldn't have been able to. But now it was very easy. Hegemin Dragon Eye flew out of the sea and paced back and forth on the human brat's body. A look of wariness appeared in his eyes as he hid to the side. This guy looked strange. It was best to wait for the main force to arrive. The enormous dragon that had been smashed just now saw that Hegemin Dragon Eye didn't do anything. So he didn't either. Longyang, you useless thing. Last time someone barged in, you didn't stop them. This time you didn't stop them. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? A rumbling sound came from afar like thunder. It was astonishingly loud, and at the same time it sent waves into the sky. Then, a group of black figures appeared in the depths of the island. There were at least 40 or 50 enormous dragons, and the one at the very front was a golden dragon. It was especially eye-catching, and it was this golden dragon that had spoken. Master, we seem to be in big trouble. I didn't expect there to be a golden dragon here. A golden dragon? What's the difference? Lin Fei didn't know much about dragons. Rainbow looked at Lin Fei strangely. All golden dragons are descendants of royalty. Other dragons don't have the right to be royalty. They have such a high status. The enormous dragon was very long, and its enormous body quickly arrived at the surface of the sea. Your Highness, this human is very strong. I'm not his match. Please punish me. Hegemin Longyang gritted his teeth. The golden dragon's body flickered, and it transformed into a yellow-robed young man. He also emanated a noble aura. Longyang knew very well how strong Hegemin Longyang was. Ordinary, early-stage 9-star sovereigns would definitely be able to block his attacks. But this clansman of his couldn't stop this man and woman in front of him. Stand aside. Longyang glared. He turned to look at the man and woman not far away, and a strange look flashed through his eyes. Do the two of you know that trespassing on Dragon Island is a capital offense? Longyang observed for a moment, then turned his gaze to the black-robed man. The woman was only an 8-star sovereign and didn't pose much of a threat. The black-robed Hegemin, on the other hand, gave off a very mysterious feeling. Most importantly, he couldn't tell what level he was at. Lin Fei pursed his lips. This is Dragon Island? I really don't know. You didn't put up a sign outside to tell everyone that this is Dragon Island. It's normal for me to come in. So, in the future, if you don't want people to come in, just put up a sign outside that says Dragon Island and add the words kill without mercy. I can guarantee that as long as they aren't tired of living, they won't come in. Hegemin Longyang felt that this made sense. Your Highness, he seems to make a lot of sense. The other enormous dragons all felt that it made sense as well. If they weren't here, outsiders wouldn't know that this was Dragon Island. Shut up. Longyang glared at Hegemin Longyang. Look at what you're saying. Lin Fei said seriously. Behind him, Seven Colored giggled. Look, my suggestion is so good. I wouldn't tell ordinary people. Lin Fei said again. Longyang really suspected that he didn't know the meaning of Dragon Island. He actually dared to say this so brazenly. Men, capture them for me. Seeing that His Highness was angry, the enormous dragons behind him glared at the black-robed man. With a command, 40 figures charged forward. Instantly they blotted out the sky. It was a terrifying sight. The weakest of these enormous dragons was a 7-star sovereign, while the rest were 8-star sovereigns. A group charging forward was already very terrifying. Your Highness, I suspect that this person was sent by those people. We have to interrogate him. Hegeman Longyang said in a low voice. Longyang shot out a cold beam of light. Sigh, I actually hate this kind of fighting and killing the most. Lin Fei turned into a series of afterimages as he charged into a group of dragons. He punched a black dragon's body, sending it flying. Following this, he kicked a red dragon's body, sending it to the bottom of the sea. He then turned around and punched a black dragon's body, sending it flying one after another. Lin Fei walked leisurely, sending dragons flying one after another. This, Longyang didn't bring the true experts of Dragon Island, but they were still elites. They could easily take down any expert. When the time came, he would definitely be able to obtain useful information through torture. Before he could finish this thought, Longyang saw an unbelievable scene. The clansmen he brought were all sent flying by the black-robed man. They either smashed onto the island or the sea. His punches and kicks looked very easy. For a moment, Longyang even wondered if his clansmen were dragons. When did they get beaten up like sandbags by a human? In less than a dozen breaths, the enormous dragons that charged forward were all sent flying by Lin Fei. I have no enmity with your dragon race. Don't force me to kill you. Lin Fei said indifferently, You're too despicable. As a member of the royal family, Longyang was also a hot-tempered person. How could he listen to the other party? He spat out a golden dragon breath at the other party. You go down and calm down. Chapter 1650. There was a huge island in the depths of the Dragon Island. Figures of giant dragons kept appearing on the island. Their huge bodies looked extremely small compared to the island. There was a huge palace in the middle of the island. At this moment, there were 3 human-shaped rulers discussing something in the depths of the palace. Is that guy still inside? An old man in brocade robes asked solemnly. The other 2 were relatively young and looked like middle-aged men. Dragon King, that guy is hiding inside and not coming out. We can't do anything about it. Why don't we continue to fight with him? Sooner or later, that guy will admit defeat. Our dragon tribe has plenty of time. As long as we have enough time, he will come out sooner or later. The old man in brocade robes was the Dragon King of the Dragon Island. Any Dragon King was the most powerful person on the Dragon Island because they had the bloodline of the royal family. They were born as golden dragons and were extremely powerful. Sigh, we would have time if it was during normal times. It's a pity that we are in the Dark Night galaxy now. Our Dragon Island is not very safe. Those people will come for us sooner or later. The Dragon King's face was full of worries. The other 2 were the Great Elder and Second Elder of the Dragon Island. Until now, they had no idea what kind of existence that guy was and why the Dragon King valued him so much. The 2 of them trembled slightly when they heard the words those people. Their faces were filled with anger. Dragon King, both of us have been curious. What is that guy? Why didn't you let us go in and kill him? He has hurt many of our people. Great Elder Long Xianming asked. That guy looks a little like our dragon tribe, but at the same time he doesn't look like us. Second Elder Long Xiantian asked curiously. They had been wanting to know the answer to this question for a long time. I didn't want to tell you about this. However, our dragon tribe is no longer what it used to be. Let me tell you about it. The Dragon King sighed softly. That fellow is the natural enemy of our dragon clan. I originally thought that it would not exist in this world. I didn't expect that there would be such a beast, and its strength has also reached this realm. This is God's blessing." Both of them were shocked. Natural enemy? Does our dragon race have natural enemies? The two of them didn't understand. Dragon King's tone became serious. "Yes, but it's normal that you don't know about it. After all, it happened a long time ago. Even I only knew about it from my ancestor. That guy is called the primordial evil dragon, an ancient race. He's our natural enemy. When he reaches adulthood, his strength is even more terrifying than our dragon tribe." After the two elders heard this, their eyes widened. The dragon clan actually had such a thing. If the Dragon King had not mentioned it, they would never have known that the natural enemy of the dragon race was so strong. It was just too terrifying that the dragon race specialized in eating the dragon race. The dragon race was a powerful race to begin with, but there was actually a race that was even more powerful than them that wanted to hunt them. Why did such a powerful race disappear in the end? The Dragon King said faintly their race was too powerful and hunted everywhere. Over time, they offended a large number of enemies. In the end, they were annihilated by others. This race no longer exists in the world. Who would have thought that there would be one left in the dark night galaxy? The two elders took in a deep breath. "Then why didn't we kill him? This powerful primordial evil dragon doesn't seem to be of any use to our dragon tribe." Long Xianming was confused again. "Why did you say that it's an opportunity for our dragon tribe?" The Dragon King was dissatisfied. The primordial evil dragon is one of the most powerful races in the world. Although he's the natural enemy of our dragon tribe, if our royal family could marry him and give birth to a child, it would definitely be the most powerful bloodline in the dragon tribe. In the future, he might be able to bring our bloodline back to the dragon tribe. We don't have to act sneakily like we do now. The two elders were ashamed. Ever since this guy barged into the dragon tribe, they had proposed to join forces to kill him. They had no idea that there was such a thing. "Lord Dragon King, you've put in a lot of effort." "It's good that you know that. Although our bloodline is also of the royal family, our bloodline is still not as good as those people. If we want to restore our strength, we can only rely on this method." The Dragon King had no other choice. Although the primordial evil dragon was a race that was more powerful than the dragon tribe, they were related by blood. The dragon tribe would benefit from the union between the royal family and the primordial evil dragon. The Dragon King wouldn't be worried if it were any other time. However, bang, 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 the door of the secret chamber was pushed open, and a beautiful figure barged in. "Grandfather, something happened outside. Please go and have a look," the beautiful figure said anxiously as soon as she came in. It turned out to be a young girl in white. "Xuanqin, why are you so flustered? Don't you know that we're discussing something with grandfather?" Long Xianming looked at his daughter and frowned. "This is the Dragon Island. What could happen? Could it be that those people are here?" No. There's a man and a woman outside. They're very powerful. Big Brother and the others are no match for them." Long Xuanqin said anxiously. Long Xianming knew his daughter's character very well. He released his divine sense, and his expression changed. He stood up and said, "Dragon King, something really happened outside. I'll go and have a look." The Dragon King said calmly, "Go ahead." "Father, I want to go too." Long Xuanqin hurried to catch up. Bang, bang, bang. On the surface of the sea, a man in a black robe was holding a giant dragon and smashing it into the sea. The surrounding giant dragons looked at each other and didn't dare to do anything. Since when was a human stronger than them? One man had scared them all. "Father, isn't that Huang Xing? He's not born with divine strength. He's no match for that guy." Long Xuanqin was originally cultivating. When she heard about the situation outside, she immediately came to look for her father. She didn't see what was going on outside. Now that she saw it, her beautiful eyes fell on the man in the black robe. "It's really a human." Long Xianming saw it clearly and was also quite surprised. Seeing that there were at least 70 to 80 tribesmen outside, but no one went up, Long Xuanming's face darkened. He secretly scolded them for being so useless. There's so many of them. Don't they know how to attack together? Of course, Long Xianming was also secretly shocked. Who on earth is that man in the black robe? How could he be so strong to grab his tribesmen and smash them? This made Long Xianming feel embarrassed. Father, didn't you say that humans are weak? Why is that man so strong? Long Xuanming's eyes twitched. Stop! Seeing his tribesmen being smashed, Long Xianming shouted. At the same time, he slapped at the man in the black robe to save his tribesmen. The great elder is here. This is bad. That guy is going to be in trouble. The great elder is a 9 stars pinnacle dominator. It should be easy for him to take down that human brat. The giant dragons watching were all at a disadvantage. They were either smashed into the sea or crashed into the island. Every time they rushed up, they would be beaten up. Their defense and strength were nothing in the hands of that human brat. They were unwilling to accept it once or twice. After more than 10 times, they knew better than to make a move. As long as they did not make a move, the human brat would not cause them trouble. They could only stare angrily at him, as if that was the only way to vent their anger. The big shot is here. Lin Fei chuckled and threw the giant dragon toward the big palm. Long Xianming had never seen such a shameless person. How dare he throw his tribesmen to him? He quickly changed his direction to avoid the attack. Long Tianxing, who was not far away, was also badly battered. Humans are so shameless. As soon as he finished speaking, a familiar voice rang in his ear. Big brother, what happened to your face? Did he hit you too? Long Xuanxin appeared with a smile. Little sister, don't talk nonsense. I accidentally hit him. Long Tianxing's eyes twitched. He had always been arrogant, but he had suffered a lot today. However, he could do nothing but watch helplessly. Otherwise, all of them would have died here. Really? I don't think so. Long Xuanxin was a laughing witch on Dragon Island. She had always wanted to see the world in chaos. Her clansmen on Dragon Island had been tortured a lot. She knew her brother's temper very well. Even if he was beaten, he would pretend that he was not beaten. By the way, brother, do you know that man? No. Long Tianxing said coldly. He was relieved and was afraid that Long Xuanxin would continue asking. Long Xuanming's first move failed, so he changed to another one. Who are you? The dragon clan's killing seal slammed down. Long Xianming did not dare to underestimate someone who could scare his tribesmen to the point of not daring to attack. Moreover, this person looked very mysterious, and he could not tell his strength. Believe it or not, I'm just a passerby. Lin Fei countered with a palm and said with a smile. Long Xuanming's face turned gloomy when he saw the other party's disdainful and lazy tone. Father's killing seal of the dragon clan has become much more powerful. I wonder how that human brat is going to block it. Boom! It was a simple attack. A palm went against the killing seal of the dragon clan. The seal was shattered. Long Xianming felt a powerful force coming at him. He was secretly shocked. How could this guy be so strong? He was not any weaker than him. Since when did such an expert appear in the Dark Night Galaxy? What was his motive for coming to the Dragon Island? Thoughts flashed through Long Xuanming's mind. Although he was shocked by the other party's strength, he did not think that he would lose. The Dragon Clan would never lose. Not bad, not bad. You can block 50% of my strength. Long Xianming was about to speak, but he was so angry that he almost vomited blood. I attacked with all my strength, and you only used 50%? Who are you trying to fool? Arrogant. Lin Fei chuckled. I will use 80% of my strength for this palm. Get ready. Long Xianming would not believe it. He took out the killing seal of the Dragon Clan again, and the power was even more terrifying than before. Lin Fei did not even bother to look at Long Xianming as he sent out a palm strike, suppressing the dragon race's absolute kill imprint. A terrifying aura enveloped Long Xuanming's body as the gigantic palm strike landed on him. Long Xianming was sent flying backward and smashed into the sea. Chapter 1651. Long Xuanqing shouted. She raised her eyebrows and glared at Lin Fei, who was not far away. She was as hot as a pepper. Take this. Long Xuanqing saw that her father was sent flying and rushed over, turning into a female dragon. Beautiful dragon! This was the first time Lin Fei saw a female dragon. Compared to the male dragon, which was rough and barbaric, the female dragon was much more graceful. She had smooth lines and was very beautiful, not like the female Tyrannosaurus that Lin Fei had imagined. Master, this beautiful dragon is really hot. You didn't even hit hard, and she came over. She really doesn't know what's good for her. The little devil jeered. You'd better catch her and make her your maid to serve you tea. Lin Fei rolled his eyes. Swoosh! Long Xuanqing clawed at him. This was also the way she fought. As a dragon, she liked to transform into her original form whenever she fought. Both her strength and defense would be greatly improved. Beautiful, are you tickling me? If so, then do it a few more times. It feels good. Lin Fei smiled and let her claw fall on his body. He was wearing the heavenly god battle suit, so his defense was good. Long Xuanqing glared. You're shameless. Swoosh! Swoosh! One claw shadow after another landed on his body. The dragons who were watching from afar looked at each other. Someone actually dared to tease their goddess on Dragon Island. This human kid was really shameless. Princess, kill that kid. That kid is too arrogant. Princess, you can do it. Long Xuanqing glared at them, and they all shut their mouths obediently, not daring to speak again. Long Xuanqing was very confident in her strength. She was also one of the experts on Dragon Island. But today, she had no advantage in front of this shameless guy. Seeing his shameless smile, Long Xuanqing's attack became more fierce. No matter how Long Xuanqing attacked, his not-so-strong body remained intact. Xuanqing, come back. A scolding voice came from behind. Long Xuanqing found that her father was behind her. After a few punches, she glared at him and retreated. In fact, the more she fought, the more surprised she was. Did he have to be so powerful? Father, this guy is too shameless. Long Xuanqing was very unwilling. Long Xianming looked at the other party with a complicated gaze and cupped his hands together. Thank you for showing mercy to my daughter. It's just a spar. Long Xuanqing was even more unconvinced. She refused to admit defeat. Father, our dragon clan has the upper hand. I will definitely win if I fight him. At this moment, Long Xianming was extremely shocked. After all, he was a 9-stars pinnacle ruler. Although he did not use his full strength, the fact that the other party had sent him flying and injured him slightly was enough to prove his strength. Furthermore, he had heard from his son that his clansmen had all been beaten up by this black-robed kid. Long Xianming also felt that it was strange. Why didn't this person kill him? If he really wanted to kill him, perhaps there would be a river of blood flowing right now. Even he himself wouldn't be able to gain any advantage. Long Xianming tried to stop his daughter from continuing. At his realm, the depth of his strength could be easily seen through. There was no need to go too deep. Fortunately, the Dragon King was here, so there was no need to worry about not being able to defeat the other party. Long Xianming glanced at his daughter. What nonsense are you talking about? Apologize to His Excellency now. He has already shown you mercy. Father, Long Xuanqing was unconvinced. She gritted her teeth, turned around, and flew out. I'm not going to apologize to him. Long Xianming was a little embarrassed. I'm sorry, my daughter is used to being willful. Lin Fei was really afraid that the Dragon Clan would fight to the end. If that was the case, Lin Fei didn't mind coming to his brother to turn into a river of blood so that he could get a batch of dragon meat back. It's normal for a child to be willful. Lin Fei laughed. Long Xianming could not figure out the other party's background, but he had never been heavily injured, so he should not have any ill intentions. He glanced at the clansmen not far away. Disperse and do what you have to do. As soon as the great elder said that, the surrounding clansmen dispersed. If you don't mind, why don't you come to my humble abode? Long Xianming invited with a smile. Sure. Lin Fei and Seven Colored came to the largest island. Long Xianming entertained Lin Fei and Seven Colored. As long as they were not enemies, Long Xianming could still let go of the previous matter. With such strength at such a young age, his future was limitless. It was not a good thing to offend him. He would rather have one less enemy like him. The current dragon clan was not the dragon clan of the past, and they could not afford any more trouble. Master, it seems that there are not many dragon clan on this dragon island. It seems that they are a branch. But I'm curious why there is a branch in Dark Night Galaxy. Seven Colored said. Anyway, we have nothing to do with this box. As long as we find Hairball, we will leave this place. Lin Fei was not interested to know why the dragon clan was here. Long Xianming and Long Xiantian were both there. They were also discussing. First Elder, I think the two of them are very mysterious, especially that Lin Fei. There's almost no fluctuation of aura around him, and he has perfectly concealed it. Even I can't see through his cultivation realm. Perhaps only Lord Dragon King would be able to do so. Long Xianming still could not see through it. He only felt that Lin Fei was very mysterious. When did such an expert appear in Dark Night Galaxy? More importantly, why did he barge into Dragon Island? Enemy? Doesn't seem like it. Otherwise, the Dragon King of the Dragon Clan would have to be mobilized. Friend? Doesn't seem like it. After the few of them exchanged greetings, Long Xiantian got a hint and said, Fellow Taoist Lin Fei, may I know why you came to Dragon Island? If the Dragon Clan can help, we will definitely do our best to help you. This kind of person was not easy to offend. If he had a powerful background, it might cause big trouble for the Dragon Clan. Let's deal with it for now. Since when did the Dragon Clan become so direct? It was different from what I imagined. Although Lin Fei did not have much contact with the Dragon Clan, he had some contact with them before. He knew that the Dragon Clan had always been arrogant and would not lower their heads easily. But now, it seemed that there was something wrong with this Dragon Clan. Actually, I'm looking for my brother. Lin Fei confirmed that Hairball was on the island. My brother is called Hairball. Maybe you don't know him, but you will know when you see this. The Great Elder and the Second Elder exchanged glances with each other, revealing a look of surprise. This is Hairball. Lin Fei casually waved his hand in the air, and Hairball's figure appeared. It was vivid and lifelike. It's him. Although the two of them knew, they were still shocked when they saw Hairball. This person is actually looking for the primordial evil dragon. He might even be our master. This is bad. Long Xiantian was a little uneasy. Although he did not attack, he could tell that he was not a match for Lin Fei in a one-on-one fight. Long Xianming was just discussing with the Dragon King on how to take down the primordial evil dragon as soon as possible. Just as they finished their discussion, the Dragon King's master came. Moreover, his strength was unfathomable. This was not good news. He was also having a headache. Is he not here? Long Xianming did not think that the other party would believe him. He might even attack immediately. But if he was here, did he really have to hand over the primordial evil dragon? The Dragon King would be the first to not believe him. Lin Fei was very calm. He was not in a hurry to rush him. He had sensed that Hairball was somewhere on the Dragon Island. If he was not wrong, he should be temporarily trapped in a space and was not in any danger. The Dragon Tribe was also a powerful tribe. Lin Fei did not intend to solve it by force. If things did not work out, he would use force. He had already given them enough face. Fellow Taoist Lin Fei, your good brother is on our Dragon Island. However, rumble. Before Long Xianming could finish his sentence, a loud rumble came from the palace, and it shook. 9 Dragon King, we are here again. Let's see where you can run to this time. Ha ha ha. Long Xianming and Long Xuantian's expressions changed drastically. They were enraged and disappeared from the palace. Something seems to have happened, Rainbow said. Lin Fei had a good impression of Long Xianming after he admitted it. Ordinary people would not dare to admit it. Let's go and take a look. It seems that the person who came is the enemy of the dragon tribe. Lin Fei smiled and left the palace. The two of them then came to the sky above the island. When they came to the sky above the island, they saw a group of at least a few hundred black figures in the distance. Master, the one who seems to be the leader, seems to be from the dragon tribe. Lin Fei looked in the direction and saw a group of 3 people in the distance. The one in the middle was a middle-aged man who was emitting a faint aura. The man laughed. Xianming, Xiantian, long time no see. I remember the last time we met was a chaotic year ago. I did not expect that you have already advanced to the 9 stars sovereign realm. It's a pity that you are not my match. Call the 9 Dragon King out. You want to meet the 9 Dragon King? Let's see if you have the ability. Long Xianming and Long Xiantian looked at each other, and a supreme-grade sovereign weapon appeared in their hands. They cooperated and attacked the middle-aged man from the left and right. Not bad. Let's attack together. The middle-aged man still had a smile on his face as he strolled leisurely. The two of them attacked faster and faster, like 2 spinning tops. Those who were weaker could only see the moving shadows and could not see the traces of the attacks. They are going to lose. Lin Fei could see it clearly. The middle-aged man was a half-step into the heavenly god realm. You are still not worthy to be my opponent. The middle-aged man shook his head and his eyes were filled with disdain. He raised his hand and sent a palm strike at the two of them. The two of them turned pale and were sent flying. 9 Dragon King, if you don't come out, I will take action personally. I will not be so kind then. The middle-aged man stopped after sending 2 palm strikes. 10 Dragon King, I did not expect that you have also entered this realm. A figure suddenly appeared and caught the two of them with each hand. Then he appeared in front of everyone. It's the Dragon King. Lin Fei was shocked. There was a Dragon King on the Dragon Island, and this Dragon King was not an ordinary Dragon King. Only the royal family was qualified to be the Dragon King. Moreover, it was the 9 Dragon King. Chapter 1652. The Dragon Clan against the Dragon Clan. Lin Fei looked like he was watching a show. Since when did the dragon race become enemies with the dragon race? This was too inconceivable. 9 Dragon King and 10 Dragon King. Anyone could tell what was going on as long as they were not fools. Anger flashed across 9 Dragon King's aged face, but he quickly regained his composure. That's all in the past. I've almost forgotten about it. Long Xianming and Long Xiantian came behind Dragon King and glared at 10 Dragon King. This was their archenemy who had been chasing after them all this time. 10 Dragon King did not care about the anger in 9 Dragon King's eyes. After all, this was all in the past. The 9 Dragon King was not the 9 Dragon King of the past. After today, the 9 Dragon King bloodline would no longer exist. Time has passed too quickly. Who would have thought that Brother Jiu, the dragon god's most beloved son, would end up like this? I spent 30 chaos years looking for all of you. This time, I can finally go back and report on my mission. The 10th Dragon King guffawed. Don't expect any of you to leave this place. I have sealed the star land outside with a low-grade divine weapon. No one can leave this place today. Of course, if your strength has improved, it will be a different story. I believe that your injuries have not healed yet. You shameless fellow, if not for your despicable methods, you would have died many times over. a young figure rushed forward. It was His Highness Long Tianqing. 10 Dragon King said calmly. So it's your Highness. Young people are so hot-tempered. You don't even have proper etiquette. Let me, your uncle, discipline you. Long Tianqing could not move at all. 10 Dragon King, I dare you to move. 9 Dragon King roared and charged at 10 Dragon King. 2 terrifying auras shot into the sky. Bam! 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 The 2 figures exchanged blows quickly. A terrifying power rippled out. One by one, the giant dragons were sent flying and fell into the sea, creating waves everywhere. Retreat! Retreat! The people on both sides kept retreating, trying their best to avoid being affected by the shock waves. Master, who will win? 7-Colored was only an 8-star ruler and could not see clearly. It should be the 10th Dragon King. Lin Fei brought Rainbow to a place far away, just outside of the battle's range. 9 Dragon King is injured, probably from years ago. He hasn't recovered yet. As time passes, he won't be a match for him. Lin Fei's eyesight was now very sharp. The 2 of them could clearly see what was going on. Brother 9, you still haven't recovered from your injuries. What a pity. A figure was sent flying backward. The 10th Dragon King smiled as he walked out. If you only have this much strength, then your bloodline is destined to cease to exist today and become a thing of the past. Who can guarantee it until the very end? A trace of blood red appeared on the 9 Dragon King's lips, and a blood-red dagger appeared in his hand, giving off traces of divine might. He slashed at the 10 Dragon Kings, and a trace of golden light shot towards them. No wonder you're so confident. It turns out that you've already fixed the low-grade ghost Wrath dagger. The 10th Dragon King did not think much of it. A pair of golden gloves appeared on his hands. Pung pung! The moment the 2 clashed, divine might filled the sky. Every time they clashed, the low-grade ghost Wrath would erupt with endless divine might. The spectators paled. No matter how strong their physiques were, it was useless before a low-grade ghost Wrath. 9 Dragon King was sent flying again. At the same time he coughed out blood. Grandfather! Father! The first elder and second elder were furious, wanting to rush over. Don't come over. 9 Dragon King coughed out blood, stopping them from approaching. You'll just be helping me instead. The 10th Dragon King bumped his fists together. Seems like you care about your son and grandson a lot. Then I'll fulfill your wishes. Otherwise, people will say that I, as their uncle, don't treat them like they're nothing. Kill them all. Leave none alive. The 10th Dragon King ordered, pouncing at the 9th Dragon King. Our battle has just begun. Back then, I wasn't your match. Today, I'll prove to you that I'm stronger than you. Swish, swish, swish. The black shadows behind the 10th Dragon King charged forward. The island instantly turned into a battlefield. F***CK, I'm here to find someone. Lin Fei curled his lips. These so-called 10th Dragon King were really ruthless, wanting to kill the entire bloodline. Since when did the Dragon Clan become so savage? 3 or 4 figures charged at Lin Fei and Rainbow. They were all strange races, all of them exuding a cold and gloomy aura. Rainbow didn't hesitate to meet them. Endless illusions shrouded them, and the few black shadows froze, becoming confused. Rainbow took the opportunity to kill them. This was also because Rainbow's illusion technique had improved greatly. He could easily pull the opponent into an illusion, making it easier to deal with them. Master, what do we do now? Lin Fei came to find Hairball. He didn't expect to run into the Dragon Clan's internal secrets. It seemed like it wasn't a small matter. After chasing for so long, this bloodline deserved to be unlucky. This was really chasing to the ends of the earth. Lin Fei finally understood what the sovereign had meant. The them he had been referring to was most likely the forces of the 10 Dragon Kings, and that he had been mistaken. Fellow Taoist Lin Fei, come with me. Lin Fei didn't know what to do. Long Xianming charged out of the black shadows and brought Long Tianqing over. At the same time, he sent a voice transmission. Fellow Taoist, I'm very sorry for dragging you guys into this. Your friend Hairball is in the secret space of our Dragon Island. Come with me. Dragon Tomb? The Dragon Clan loved this place. They had to do it. This wasn't the first time Lin Fei heard of the Dragon Tomb. He had entered it before, although he was in the lower world. Since Long Xianming had said so, Lin Fei brought Hairball out first. Long Xianming and some other experts killed their enemies and rushed to the main hall. Only he knew that the Dragon Tomb was under the main hall, and it was also a passage. Even if it was sealed by an inferior-grade divine artifact, they could still leave. Soon, they entered the main hall, passed through layers of restrictions, and finally came to the depths of the hall, where they opened a stone door. Father, I'm not leaving. Long Tianqing and Long Xuanqin's eyes were red. As a member of the royal family, they knew the secrets of the Dragon Tomb very well. No, you have to go, Long Xianming said. You are the seeds of our bloodline. If you leave, they will never have a legitimate reason to rule. Long Xianming turned to Lin Fei and said, Fellow Taoist, although I don't know who you are, I'm very grateful that you showed mercy to our dragon tribe. Now that our dragon tribe is in danger, I hope that you can do us a favor and take the 2 of them away. Father, we're not leaving. I don't want this shameless guy's help. Long Xuanqin stamped her feet and said. Lin Fei rolled his eyes. Since when did I become someone's nanny? Long Xianming had only dared to say those words after much consideration. His son and daughter were quite strong, but they were still a far cry from Lin Fei. Even he was not confident that he could survive this ordeal. If he could get Lin Fei to lend them a hand, they might really be able to escape this place alive. Actually, it's not a big deal, Lin Fei said casually. Long Xuanqin said, You make it sound so easy. Go and kill him if you can. Lin Fei really didn't take the 10 Dragon Kings seriously. Naturally, he wouldn't be provoked by a girl. Let's talk about this after we find my brother. Your brother is in there. Long Xianming was a little disappointed. He glared at his daughter as if saying, Will you die if you don't say a word? The stone door opened. They rushed into the Dragon Tomb. It was an independent space. It was filled with a deathly stillness. Other than that, there were many skeletons left behind by the dead Dragon Clan. Both Long Xianming and Long Xuanqin had a solemn expression on their faces. Hairball, Lin Fei shouted. His voice spread through the entire Dragon Tomb. Who's shouting? Kill him. You're disturbing our rest. Lin Fei's voice spread. All kinds of divine senses came from the Dragon Tomb. Then, pure souls flew out from the skeletons. Seniors, please calm down. I'm Long Xianming, the current Great Elder. Roar! Roar! Long Xianming was shocked and quickly explained. Suddenly, a roar came from afar. The souls that had just flown out fled in all directions as if they had seen a demon. Don't run. There's something delicious. A few of them who were too slow were devoured by a black whirlpool. Then a primordial evil dragon appeared and ate with relish. Master, I've missed you so much. Hairball looked up and saw Lin Fei. She looked aggrieved. The ferocious look from before was nowhere to be seen. Hairball was enraged when she saw Long Xianming and the others not far away. It's all your fault. A bunch of bad guys. I'm going to eat you all today. Long Xuanming's expression changed. He knew how powerful the primordial evil dragon was. Even though his cultivation was high, he could not take it down. The defense of the primordial evil dragon was too strong. If the primordial evil dragon really attacked, Long Xianming would definitely have a headache. It's a misunderstanding. Please allow me to explain. I won't listen. I'm going to eat you all. From this, it could be seen just how furious Furball was. Lin Fei stopped her. Hairball, why are you eating? Aren't you afraid that you'll turn into a pig if you only know how to eat all day? Hairball looked pitiful. But Long Xianming, heaved a sigh of relief. He wanted to know more about Lin Fei's background. He was strong and had the primordial evil dragon with him. It was a rare combination. It's just eating. There's good food outside. Hairball loved to eat. Really? Who's lying to you? I guarantee that it's chewy and delicious. Lin Fei laughed. Bring me there. I can't wait to eat it. Long Xianming was confused. Who are they going to eat? Is Lin Fei going to make a move? Ha ha ha, the dragon's tomb is here. Boom! A silhouette flew in, and wherever it passed, the dragon skeletons turned to dust. Grandfather, it was the 9-Dragon King. Chapter 1653. Cough, 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 cough. 9-Dragon King landed on a pile of bones and vomited blood. The dagger in his hand fell to the side. Needless to say, 9-Dragon King was no match for 10-Dragon King. Brother 9, you lost in the end. As long as you have not reached that realm, you are destined to be no match for me. 10-Dragon King barged in from outside and walked up leisurely. Looking at the dazzling 9-Dragon King lying on the ground and vomiting blood, 10-Dragon King was in a good mood. This was what he dreamed of day and night. It's time to end this. The 10th Dragon King said calmly, after being chased for so long, your bloodline can also disappear from here. It's not a bad choice to use the dragon tomb as a resting place. Don't worry, after you die, I will completely seal the dragon tomb. I won't let anyone disturb you. You win. 9-Dragon King had not fully recovered from his injuries. He was defeated in the first exchange. You have already won. Why do you have to chase me to the end? You should know that our bloodline can no longer affect him. He can be the new dragon god. 9-Dragon King sighed. 10-Dragon King shook his head. The person in that position is not at ease. As long as you are not dead, perhaps a few hundred chaos years later, or even tens of thousands of chaos years later, another genius will appear in your bloodline. He does not wish to cause trouble for himself, so he can only finish you all off. The only thing he did not expect was that you all actually entered the Dark Knight Galaxy and hid your identities. Unfortunately, I still found you all. Victory was in sight. All he had to do was to make a move. 10-Dragon King had been waiting for this day for a long time. As long as he completed this task, his position as one of the 10 Dragon Kings would be secured. Father, our bloodline does not have anyone to kill. Long Xianming puffed out his chest. At most, we will perish together. I don't believe that we can't deal with him with so many people. The 9-Dragon King shook his head, sending a voice transmission to his son. The 10 Dragon Kings are no longer the 10 Dragon Kings of the past. They're already half a step into the heavenly god realm, and their strength is on par with me. I'm afraid you'll be killed in the next second. Just wait, I'll go all out. Take Tianqing and Xianxian and leave through the secret passage. Promise me that you won't come back. It's best if you don't come back for the rest of your life. Long Xianming knew what his father wanted to do. He wanted to ask him to go, but he knew that he would be killed before he could do anything. Indeed, the 9 Dragons King was prepared to risk his life to buy time for his children to leave. No matter what, he would not allow the bloodline to be destroyed in his hands. Hey, are you a delicious thing? Just as 9 Dragons King was about to make his move, a voice suddenly appeared between them. Whether it was the 9 Dragon Kings or the 10 Dragon Kings, all of them were puzzled. What is good food? Hua! A sharp gaze shot towards the source of the voice. Hairball was no longer the same as before. With Lin Fei secretly cheating, Hairball's defense was very strong. 2 pairs of eyes fell on her, like knives, stimulating Hairball. It hurts so much, I'm going to eat you. The 10 Dragon Kings thought they heard it wrong. This thing wants to eat me? Wait, Why does it look exactly like a dragon? Why don't I recognize it? Could it be the illegitimate child of that dragon? Looking at the appearance, the 10 Dragon Kings did not recognize what race it was. After all, there were many races in the dragon race, such as the black dragon race, the red dragon race, the crystal race, the white dragon race, and so on. The 10 Dragon Kings really did not recognize the one in front of them. Hairball was not as simple as it sounded. Its huge body dashed forward, and before the 10 Dragon Kings could react, it rammed into him. Stunned, the 10 Dragon Kings were sent flying. In terms of spatial control, speed, and so on, no one could compare to the primordial evil dragon race. Father, that hairball is attacking! Long Xuanqin was dumbfounded. Long Xianming had a similar expression. He knew that the primordial evil dragon was strong, but his father had lost to the 10 Dragon Kings, and he could not even leave a scratch on his opponent. The primordial evil dragon did it. Sending the 10 Dragon Kings flying was like giving them a tight slap on their faces. Maybe, we are saved. Long Tianxing was delighted. Hairball sent the 10 Dragon Kings flying. Before the 10 Dragon Kings could get up, its huge body fell on the ground. The 10 Dragon Kings saw the huge body falling on them. Boom! 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 Get lost, you bastard! The 10 Dragon Kings almost died from anger, especially after being smashed once again. His entire face was bruised and swollen, almost beyond recognition. Who would have thought that he would meet such an unreasonable person? He suffered 2 small losses in a row. The huge body fell on him, almost flattening him. He was in pain all over his body. He was the 10 Dragon Kings, a member of the royal family. His physical defense was terrifyingly strong. Now that he was hit by an unknown thing, the furious 10 Dragon Kings put on his boxing gloves. Hairball bumped into him again and was punched by the 10 Dragon Kings. Its huge body was sent flying. The 10 Dragon Kings rushed forward. I don't care who you are, I'm going to kill you. The magical power of low grade was not as simple as it seemed. Hairball was sent flying by the first punch. Dodging the second punch, she shrunk to her mini form and ran back to Lin Fei's shoulder. Pitifully, she said, Master, that guy bullied me. My body hurts. The 10 Dragon Kings caught up. Seeing the 2 humans, he was surprised. Similarly, he saw the dragon that embarrassed him. It seemed to be crying about something. The 10 Dragon Kings did not stop. Of the 2 humans, one was an 8-star dominator, and the other one's strength could not be seen through. He killed them both. A black ripple swept toward them. It contained a terrifying divine power attack. Lin Fei smiled and patted Hairball's head. I told you to cultivate properly. Now you know pain. If you want to eat good food in the future, you have to cultivate properly. The black ripple attacked. Lin Fei casually flicked and broke the opponent's attack. Bullying my people. Seems like you're very enthusiastic. Lin Fei snorted. Since you like to fight so much, I'll let you fight to your heart's content. Swoosh, swoosh. 18 primordial world clones flew out of Lin Fei's body. Who do you think you are? The 10 Dragon Kings did not think much of it. When the first clone came out, he felt a trace of threat from its aura. Then came the second, the third. In the blink of an eye, there were 18 clones. This gave the 10 Dragon Kings a fright. They were all 9 stars, peak Dominator realm. What kind of joke was this? The 10 Dragon Kings was experienced and knowledgeable, so he did not think much of it. He had even seen people who cultivated 100 clones. Each clone was not strong. At most, they could scare people, but they did not have much use. The more people you have, the more powerful you are. The 10 Dragon Kings punched the nearest clone. He thought that he could destroy the opponent's clone with one punch. 18 clones were not that big of a deal. Bang! This punch landed on the opponent's body, and the 10 Dragon King's smile disappeared. An expressionless face appeared in front of him. What followed was a huge fist. His face was bruised and swollen, like a blooming flower of blood. How is this possible? This is the attack of a low-grade divine artifact. The 10 Dragon Kings had a bad feeling that he could not destroy the clone with one punch. Even the 9 Dragon Kings did not dare to take his punch head-on. Bang! A punch from the left landed on his body, and his whole body flew backward. He fell to the ground again. Before he could get up, another clone stomped on his head. The 18 clones were like wolves and tigers. The 9 Dragon Kings and the others were dumbfounded. They looked at each other. The 10 Dragon Kings, who even his father was not a match for, were now surrounded and beaten by a group of clones. This was the funniest thing he had ever seen. "What are you doing?" "This is mine." The 18 clones were like mountains. The 10 Dragon Kings were pressed under the mountains, unable to get out. The boxing gloves on his hands were also taken off and landed in the hands of one of the clones. The supreme grade ruler's battle robes were also smashed into pieces. The 10 Dragon Kings had never imagined that they would end up like this. "I am the 10 Dragon Kings of the Draconic God Domain, a member of the royal family. You cannot take my things." The 10 Dragon Kings roared, transforming into his true form. The 18 clones each took out a weapon and stabbed it at the 10 Dragon Kings. The 10 Dragon Kings fell to the ground again, unable to move. The 10 Dragon Kings would not be able to withstand the attacks of 18 inferior grade divine artifacts, even if they were just normal attacks. 9 Dragon's King sucked in a breath of cold air, his eyes fixed on the 18 doppelgangers. His heart was in turmoil as he thought to himself, what a powerful background. Each of them has a low-grade divine artifact, a total of 18 low-grade divine artifacts. Just what is this guy's background? Even his bloodline only had one low-grade divine artifact. Now, each of his clones had a low-grade divine artifact. This made the pride of the dragon race fall to the bottom. This guy was a true tycoon. "All right, you can go up and eat now." Lin Fei had no interest in the Draconic God Domain. Back then, he had killed the son of a dragon king, who had the bloodline of a dragon god. Now that he had killed another one, Lin Fei had no reason to hesitate. Hairball flew over and appeared in front of the 10 Dragon Kings. "Master said, you are delicious. You must be delicious. You remind me of an ancient taste." Hairball was a primordial evil dragon, born to eat dragons. Now that he was a royal dragon, Hairball drooled. "You can't eat me. You can't eat me." The 10 Dragon Kings struggled. The 18 low-grade divine artifacts were like a stabilizing force. He couldn't move at all. Hearing that he was going to be eaten, he lost his cool. "I am the 10 Dragon Kings." Furball did not care about what the 10 Dragon Kings were. All it knew was that the food in front of it was delicious and had been completely stifled recently. It rushed up and bit down on the 10 Dragon Kings' massive body, tearing off a large chunk of bloody dragon meat and eating it with relish. "It hurts." The 10 Dragon Kings trembled all over, but he couldn't move. "I know. You are a primordial evil dragon, a legendary extinct existence." The 10 Dragon Kings recognized the thing in front of him. His eyes revealed deep fear. Chapter 1654. Long Tianqing felt his face burning as he looked at the black-robed young man not far from him. "So that person is so strong. He was merciful back then. I thought the gap between us wasn't that big. What a joke, what a joke." Long Tianqing was confident in his own strength. However, when he fought that person, he was restricted in every way. He thought the other party wouldn't be that much stronger than him. Now he understood that there was always someone stronger. The other party wasn't just a little stronger than him. The gap was huge. What if the other party wanted to kill him? Long Tianqing didn't have the confidence to survive. Just look at the 10 Dragon Kings on the ground. The Dragon God Domain's royalty was now being torn apart by an even more terrifying existence. The bloody scene made his scalp tingle with disbelief. Long Tianqing had read about the primordial evil dragon in ancient books. He had always thought that it was an extinct existence. Who would have thought that it really existed and was so cruel? The 10 Dragon Kings screamed, even begging 9 Dragon King to stop. 9 Dragon King didn't speak, his face calm. Their bloodline was glorious in the past. Even now, their population had dwindled. 9 Dragon King wouldn't speak, but he didn't dare to either. That black-robed man was too terrifying. His strength was tyrannical. Just his doppelgangers were enough to make one's scalp go numb. 18 low-grade divine artifacts were more than enough to kill anyone at his realm. 9 Dragon King hated the 10 Dragon Kings. The 10 Dragon Kings kept cursing until Hairball ate them all. Lin Fei was also afraid of blood, so he told Hairball to finish the battle quickly. The 10 Dragon Kings were completely eaten. Many thanks for your help. 9 Dragon King felt much better after eating the recovery pellet. He came to thank Lin Fei. If it weren't for the other party, their bloodline would really be finished, disappearing from the annals of history. Indiscriminate destruction? 9 Dragon King wasn't confident. After all, the 2 of them were at the same realm. It was hard to guarantee that they had life-saving treasures. In the end, he would be the one at a disadvantage. Lin Fei called Furball back. Actually, I don't really like the people of the dragon race because not too long ago, I killed someone with the bloodline of the dragon god. I think his name was Long Ao. That's the 3rd Dragon King's son. 9 Dragons King exclaimed. You really killed him? Long Tianqing took a step back, not daring to get close. Did this guy hate the dragon race? Otherwise, why would he attack the dragon race? Originally, he was killed. Later, an important figure appeared and resurrected him. Lin Fei chuckled. However, if we meet again, I guarantee that he won't have the chance to resurrect. Revive, 9 Dragons King sucked in a breath of cold air. He could even revive after being killed. This fellow was too bold. Was he not afraid of being hunted down by that big shot? Had it been before, 9 Dragons King might have suspected something, but now he didn't. He didn't see any reason for the other party to be afraid, as if that big shot didn't exist. 9 Dragon King didn't chat with Lin Fei for too long. He took the initiative to go outside and cooperated with the people outside. He left all the people he brought here on Dragon Island and sealed off all the news. Lin Fei was also invited to a quiet island. Master, you help the dragon race. Do you want them to have internal strife? Rainbow asked. Lin Fei was surprised. You even know that? Master offended the dragon race of the dragon god domain and killed Long Ao, a person with a powerful background. Now that you have been resurrected, your talent will definitely be affected. The dragon race will definitely treat you as an enemy. If you support the 9 Dragons King's bloodline, they will have a headache. Lin Fei laughed. Actually, I didn't have this idea. The internal strife of the dragon race has nothing to do with me. Later, that guy chased me, and it just so happened that Hairball was hungry. I might as well use him as food. At the same time, I thought of helping the 9 Dragons King. This was Lin Fei's previous idea. To be able to make another Dragon King chase after this bloodline, Lin Fei also saw some clues. This bloodline must have an amazing background. Lin Fei would be very happy to be able to bring some trouble to the dragon race, even giving them a headache. The 10 Dragon Kings died. The rest of the people didn't have the ability to fight. Even though the 9 Dragons King was injured, he relied on his own strength and low-grade, profound divine artifact to turn the tide of the battle. In the end, he killed everyone and collected the low-grade divine artifacts outside. In this battle, the dragon race also suffered a lot of losses. More than 20 dragon race members were killed, all in the sovereign realm. Among them, there were a few 7-star sovereigns, 3 8-star sovereigns, and the rest were injured. That night, the 9 Dragons King held a banquet and invited Lin Fei to thank him for his help. Even though Lin Fei had made a move against the dragon race in the past, his immense power and the fact that he had shown them mercy had caused the dragon race's hatred to dissipate, and they began to worship Lin Fei. After all, the dragon race worshipped the strong. An expert like Lin Fei was young. Naturally, he was worshipped by the dragon race. This was especially the case for some of the women. The way they looked at Lin Fei was unusually gentle, causing Lin Fei to not know whether to laugh or cry. Lin Fei took out quite a number of a mortal bruise. These were all obtained from killing people, and he hadn't taken them out to drink. Now that he had the chance, he helped him get rid of quite a bit. During the entire banquet, not much was said. It was just a simple thank you banquet. There was nothing else involved, and everyone ate happily. After the banquet ended, the 9 Dragons King didn't rest. What happened in the day had nearly turned his bloodline into history. If not for that human's help, it was unknown whether or not he could have escaped alive. The important members of the royal family were all here. They were the only ones who knew how strong Lin Fei was, especially the 18 doppelgangers and the 18 low-grade divine artifacts. This was something that blinded their eyes. He was practically a tycoon. Even those who thought that they were rich wouldn't be able to take out such a huge sum. For example, their bloodline only had a single low-grade divine artifact. This was the difference, and this low-grade divine artifact was bestowed to them in the past. The 9 Dragons King was very wary of Lin Fei, especially because of his background. It might be a hidden family with power comparable to the top sections. This was the scariest part. I have gathered all of you here today to discuss the future of the Dragon Clan. There were several elders present, including Long Tianqing and Long Xuanqing. There were about 8 or 9 of them. There had been a few of them, but they had all died in the battle. Relocate. We must relocate. If the 10 Dragon Kings find us, they might send a message back. We must leave this place. Soon. Everyone was arguing. Relocate. It seemed simple, but every time they relocate, it would be a huge ordeal for the Dragon Clan. If they didn't migrate, those people might come back to kill them before long. They had lost a Dragon King, and the people of the draconic god Weave would definitely not let this matter rest. If they appeared again, it would definitely be a huge disaster. The 9 Dragons King was very disappointed to see their discussion. Grandfather, I have something to say. Long Tianqing interrupted the argument. Speak. We, the Dragon Clan, have migrated time and time again to avoid our enemies. There are almost no peaceful days. We either live in fear every day or don't dare to go out for fear that our whereabouts will be exposed. This is not the kind of life the Dragon Clan should have. Don't you all think so? Long Tianqing said seriously. The arguing elders quieted down. Your Highness is right. This is not the kind of life we should have. The Dragon Clan should live a carefree life, unaffected by anyone, just like back in the day. The elders seemed to be lost in their memories. As long as they were a member of the Dragon Clan, none of them liked their current life. Even though their race was powerful in the Dark Night Galaxy, the Dragon Clan was not the strongest. There were still many powerful special life forms that could threaten them. Escaping from this kind of life was their most urgent wish. Since everyone knows that the Dragon Clan is having a hard time now, if we continue to migrate, our lives will still be the same. It will not change for the rest of our lives. What we need now is a change. Long Tianqing said in a deep voice. His words were like a sledgehammer pounding on everyone's hearts. We need to change our ways and not live like this anymore. For example, right now we have a chance. For example, that powerful Lin Fei. None of the people present were stupid. The moment His Highness spoke, they knew what he was talking about. No one was surprised. In the past, the 10 Dragon Kings had chased after them endlessly. Now that they died in the other party's hands, one could imagine how powerful the other party was. They knew the purpose of this meeting. We can cooperate with that Lin Fei. After seeing the 10 Dragon Kings killed, Long Tianqing had a thought in his mind. Cooperation. Perhaps this was their only hope, especially after knowing that the other party had killed the third Dragon King's son. Those people would not let Lin Fei go. This was their chance to cooperate. 9 Dragon King showed a trace of satisfaction. At least this grandson of his knew how to choose. Migrate? He did not approve of it. He did not want to go through this kind of suffering again, especially after seeing that the other party had 18 low-grade divine artifacts. If their bloodline could also be armed, those people would not dare to act rashly. Of course, 9 Dragon King had another suspicion. Since the other party had 18 low-grade divine artifacts, he might also have a low-grade divine robe. If that was the case, it would be too terrifying. After all, 18 low-grade divine artifacts were enough to shock people. Cooperation? How? He is a human. Does he have the ability to cooperate with us? Will the people behind him agree? Aren't we being too rash? Hearing the word cooperation, everyone was doubtful. Everyone knew how powerful the other party was. Even if the person in front of them was amazing, they did not have any doubts. What could the dragon race use to transform? This was also a problem. Long Tianqing continued. We already have some ideas about the cooperation. I believe that person won't reject it. As for our dragon clan, although we aren't much now, we are still strong and powerful. We aren't weak. Everyone was just listening to this meeting. They did not have the right to decide. Chapter 1655. They should be here by now. On one of the Dragon Islands, Lin Fei stayed in the room that was arranged for him. He was enjoying the delicacies that were served on the Dragon Island. Ever since the banquet, Lin Fei had not left the Dragon Island. He was waiting for the dragon tribe to come. Under normal circumstances, the Dragon King would not be able to sit still and look for him. Lin Fei also wanted to know some things about the Dark Night Galaxy. Is it because they won't come? Rainbow chuckled. Lin Fei shook his head and said seriously, impossible. They will definitely come. Maybe they are waiting for me to make a move. I can't be fooled by them. Lin Fei was very clear about this. If the Dragon King did not have such foresight, he would be a failure as the Dragon King. Taoist Lin Fei, I hope we are not disturbing you. Laughter came from outside. No. Lin Fei snapped his fingers. See, they are here. They should have made a decision. 9 Dragon King had thought it through. It would not be a good thing if their bloodline continued to be like this. They might even be removed from the list. Then he would be the sinner of this bloodline. This time, he was not the only one who came. His son, Long Xianming, was also here. 9 Dragon King walked in with his son. Seeing the smile on Lin Fei's face, he knew that Lin Fei was waiting for them. Maybe he had been waiting for a few days and had predicted their situation. I was going to come a few days ago, but I have been busy recently. Please don't take it to heart. 9 Dragon King said with a smile. It's all right. Lin Fei smiled. Even if the Dragon King did not come today, I would have gone to look for you. We have been wandering all the way here and have stayed here for quite some time. We are going to bid farewell to you and leave. Rainbow almost burst out laughing. Since when did his master become so thick-skinned? You are leaving? Long Xianming was shocked. Yes, I have found the person and was about to leave. Now that you are here, I can bid farewell to you in case you don't know. Lin Fei said seriously. Long Xianming did not believe it to be true. If he wanted to leave, he would have done so a long time ago. Even if he had any suspicions, he would not be able to stop the other party, let alone say that the other party was testing him. If he really wanted to leave, that would not be what the dragon tribe wanted. The meeting that day had already settled the matter. No matter what, he had to cooperate with Lin Fei. If he missed this village, he might not get that shop. The 9 Dragons King laughed. Taoist Lin Fei, you're leaving in such a short amount of time? That's a pity. I was going to tell you some interesting things about the Dark Night Galaxy. Besides, I know a lot about the Dark Night Galaxy. If you continue to drift, I don't know whether to use short-distance teleportation or long-distance teleportation. This old thing really knows how to talk. Although Lin Fei himself had not revealed his specific intentions, the Dragon King had directly pointed out his weakness, which was enough to show that the Dragon King was not simple. Right now, what Lin Fei cared about the most was movement. The battle fort could be moved, but Lin Fei wasn't sure if it could leave. If it got too far away, it wouldn't be a good thing. Long-distance teleportation? Lin Fei was very concerned about it. Lin Fei put on an exaggerated expression. Ah, there's such a place? I really didn't know about it. Long Xianming almost smacked his head. How could he have forgotten about this? Taoist Lin Fei, you may not know this, but although this place is huge, there are many races living here. Some of them are special life forms that are naturally powerful. To be honest, even the Dragon Tribe is not the most powerful race in the Dark Knight Galaxy. This Dark Knight Galaxy is better than many races that are more powerful than us, especially the Galaxy City, which is the most powerful place in the entire Dark Knight Galaxy. Lin Fei understood immediately. The Galaxy City was the most powerful force in the Dark Knight Galaxy. The long-distance teleportation should be in the Galaxy City. If you want to go further, you can go to the Galaxy City and use the long-distance teleportation formation there. Long Xianming said straightforwardly. This was not a secret, and he could easily find out by asking. There was no point in hiding it from the Dragon King, so he might as well make it clear and leave a good impression. Lin Fei did not know much about the Dark Knight Galaxy. Lin Fei had no idea about the existence of the Galaxy City. However, there was one thing that Lin Fei was interested in. There were many special life forms in the Dark Knight Galaxy that were extremely powerful. At the very least, the Dragon Tribe was afraid of them. On the Sacred Mountain, Lin Fei had offended a few of the 8 major sections. Once he went out, those guys would definitely not be polite. Other than that, there was also the Chaos Beast Tribe. They seemed friendly, but they were also a threat. Lin Fei was not weak at the moment. His 18 doppelgangers could kill a heavenly celestial. At the very least, they would be seriously injured. However, Lin Fei felt that it was not enough. It was meaningless to rely on himself. Lin Fei was interested in the special life forms. Are these special life forms strong? Lin Fei asked. How strong? It's hard to say. Long Xianming smiled bitterly. Some of the weaker ones are at the 6 or 7-star sovereign realm. They specialize in all kinds of talents. As for the stronger ones, they are comparable to me. Some are even stronger than me. Lin Fei was surprised that the arrogant Dragon Tribe dared to say that they were inferior to the special life forms. Most people would not admit it. Are you interested in the special life forms? 9 Dragon King asked. Blood on the first prick. Lin Fei had to admit that no matter what he said, the other party could easily point out his important points. Indeed, I'm interested. My sect needs some powerful special life forms. Lin Fei said, half-truthfully, Lord Dragon King might not be aware of one thing. There is a storm brewing outside. 9 Dragon King did not know much about the situation outside. Are the 8 major sects and the 7 hegemons no longer ruling the world? Very soon it won't be. Lin Fei shook his head. A few days ago, something happened in the Sacred Mountain. According to my sect, a large group of heavenly celestial gods will appear soon, and the territory will be divided again. Lin Fei said it calmly, but to 9 Dragon King, it was no longer a small matter, but a big matter. His whole person was shaken. The old ancestors' words have come true. 9 Dragon King sighed. Lin Fei did not ask why, but he knew that 9 Dragon King must know a lot of things, and it might even involve some big secrets. Otherwise, why would he say such things? Then, may I be so bold as to ask regarding this matter, does your sect have any plans? Lin Fei knew 9 Dragon King would ask this, or else it would be abnormal. This has nothing to do with our sect. Those heavenly gods can play however they want. As long as they don't provoke our sect, the sect's elders won't say anything. Lin Fei said casually, secretly observing 9 Dragon King's expression. As expected, the 9 Dragon King's expression changed. He was most likely shocked. There weren't many sects that could disregard a heavenly god as a big deal. Lin Fei must really be from a big sect or even a hidden sect. He doesn't participate in any conflicts, living a leisurely life. 9 Dragon King guessed. This also made 9 Dragon King more inclined to cooperate with the other party. Having such a hidden sect was definitely a good thing for the Dragon Tribe. Perhaps it could even help the Dragon Tribe survive this incident. May I know the name of your sect? Perhaps I might even know your sect's elders, 9 Dragon King said with a smile. Lin Fei thought 9 Dragon King would not try to pull strings. Unfortunately, this hidden sect didn't exist. No matter what elders one knew, it would be useless. This, I'm afraid that won't do. When we come out, we are strictly forbidden from saying our sect's name, lest we raise our banner and go around. Please forgive us, Dragon King. Lin Fei said with a straight face. Lin Fei was impressed with himself. His lies came one after another. Not to mention these lies, it would not be easy to support the dragon race and make them his subordinates. 9 Dragon King also knew this. The more ancient a sect was, the more its disciples were like this. It was not easy to say such things, and there were even traces of a leak. That's a pity, 9 Dragon King said regretfully. I wonder what you are going to do on this trip. Perhaps our dragon tribe can help you. At least in this dark night galaxy, we have a certain degree of confidence. This was the only thing 9 Dragon King could say. This. Lin Fei hesitated. Master, you have hesitated for so long. Perhaps they can help you. 7 Colored persuaded. Lin Fei really wanted to praise 7 Colored. She finally did a good deed. She was worth nurturing and could become his successor in the future. But Lin Fei still hesitated. Master, didn't we come out for this? Perhaps Lord Dragon King can really help you. Moreover, I don't want Master to lose to those people. 7 Colored said indignantly. I hate those guys. Last time, when Master wasn't around, they still. 9 Dragon King and Long Xianming felt like they were listening to a heavenly book. However, one thing was clear in their hearts. This Lin Fei came out with a mission. Perhaps they could really help. Fellow Taoist, you have helped our dragon tribe greatly. That means you are the most honorable friend of our dragon tribe. If there is anything you need, just say the word. We will do our best to help you. Long Xianming was no longer as arrogant as before. If there was no chance, then he would create an opportunity for himself, even for the dragon tribe. Lin Fei was overjoyed. His face revealed a struggling expression. It seemed like he would waver if he said another word. 9 Dragon King also saw Lin Fei's struggle. He said, I still have some faith in the galaxy. Fellow Taoist, if there is anything you need, just say it to me. I can't guarantee that it will work, but there is still a chance. Although he didn't know what the other party's motive was, 9 Dragon King didn't dare to be too confident, in case he couldn't say it when the time came. Master, they are quite good. Just say it, 7 Colored said. Master doesn't have much time. They are really going to win. Chapter 1656. Lin Fei was bluffing the Dragon King. If he didn't bluff, how could he get the Dragon King to help him? With the cooperation of Rainbow, Lin Fei hesitated for a long time before acting as if he was ready to go all out. This made the Dragon King and Long Xianming happy. Both of them were from the dragon race and the royal family, so they knew many secrets. In some big sects, many disciples with potential had to go out to carry out missions. These missions were not big, but they were not small either. They were all used to test one's ability. The 2 of them were even more shocked when they heard that there was more than one. A disciple who went out was scary enough. Not only did he have 18 inferior-grade artifacts, but he also raised an extinct ancient evil dragon. Not everyone could do that. From what Lin Fei said, it seemed like there was more than one disciple like him. That was really scary. How many hidden sects were there in the endless territory? If they didn't see it with their own eyes, they would never believe it. The disciples of the 8 sects might not be comparable to Lin Fei. No wonder he killed the son of the 3rd Dragon King. Daoist friend, you must be joking. We are happy to be able to help you. Lin Fei took a deep breath and said slowly, actually, it's not that hard. Disciples like us who travel outside will always have some messy missions, and I have quite a few messy missions. First, I need to collect a batch of Saint Stone mines. It's best if they're Dominator rank, but if not, Immortal Exalted rank isn't a problem either. The Dragon King's ears pricked up. He was worried that he couldn't complete it. Hearing that it was a mine, he heaved a sigh of relief. However, he was also puzzled. Did the hidden sects lack something like a mine? What a messy mission. As long as you have an Immortal Prime and a Sovereign grade mine, it won't be a problem. Daoist friend, you came to the right place. Long Xianming said hurriedly. The dragon race could really help him with this. Right place? What do you mean? Lin Fei needed a mine now. It would be very uncomfortable without something like energy points. Therefore, no one would doubt it. On the side, 7 Colored also admired Lin Fei's resourcefulness. He had used this method to meet the needs of the mineral vein, and the Dragon King and the others were still foolish enough to take it seriously. It was interesting to think about it. Long Xianming said with a smile, "Fellow Taoist, you've forgotten one thing. This is the Dark Night Galaxy. There are countless stars everywhere, and some of them have a large number of mineral veins. Our dragon tribe has control over a dozen mineral veins. As long as we spread the news, I believe many people will send the mineral veins here." Lin Fei immediately understood what was going on after hearing the other party's explanation. There were indeed mineral veins on the planet, and there were a large number of cultivators here. If he was not careful, they might even be under their control. If he really wanted to buy them, he would not have to worry about not being able to. Lin Fei laughed. It seems that my luck is pretty good. However, I need a lot of veins. I don't know if they will sell them. It's not a problem if the grade is a little lower. Lin Fei took out a jade bottle. Please help me see how much this thing is worth here. The Dragon King was afraid that it would not be able to satisfy Lin Fei. Looking at the jade bottle, Lin Fan's first impression was that this pill should be extraordinary. He took it from the other party's hand and used his divine sense to look at it. He could not tell what kind of pill it was. This is... Lin Fei explained. I forgot to mention that this is a type of pill that I refined. It's called the God Pill. It can be used to increase one's strength. Dragon King can give it a try. This pill was exchanged by Lin Fei using his divinity points. It was very cheap. It was as cheap as cabbages. Are you an alchemist? The Dragon King's hand trembled slightly. An alchemist was very important. In the endless territory, any alchemist of a high level would be the first choice of the major forces to recruit. The higher the level, the more popular they would be. The Dragon King himself was an alchemist. Unfortunately, his level was not high. The dragon tribe did not have any geniuses, which resulted in a huge gap in the strength of the dragon tribe. I learned it when I had nothing to do. The Dragon King poured out a red pill. His eyes immediately lit up. He could see that this pill was extraordinary. He thought to himself, what a good pill. It was refined so perfectly. It really came from a hidden sect. The Dragon King had a good eye for pills. With one look, he immediately realized that this was a good pill. At least it was better than refining it himself. After checking it with his divine sense, the Dragon King took one himself. He even stopped his son from taking it. The Dragon King could not help but exclaim when the pill entered his stomach. Good pill. It's a rare and good pill. The Dragon King was stunned to see such a rare elixir. Since the Dragon King said it was good, I am also relieved. If I use this pill to exchange for the mine, I wonder what the ratio will be. Lin Fei asked. Rainbow was very curious. What kind of pill was this red pill? Master, what pill was that in your hand just now? Why did the Dragon King have such a big change? Rainbow asked. Lin Fei replied with a smile. Actually, it's not a precious pill. After taking it, it can increase one's strength. The effect is very significant, especially for people at his level, because the pill contains a trace of divine power. Master is so bad. You know that they are stuck on the road to the heavenly God realm. Even a trace of divine power is infinitely useful to them. I'm afraid they will immediately take out the mine to exchange. Rainbow realized the importance. The Dragon King's vision was very high. He had no idea what materials had been used to concoct such a divine pill, but it contained a strand of divine energy. It was extremely useful to him. He had divine energy in his body, but once he used it up, who knew how long it would take him to replenish it? This was especially true in this battle, where he had used a low-quality divine artifact. He had used up most of his divine energy, and he had been worrying about how he could condense it again. If he really wanted to condense it again, it would take him hundreds of thousands of years. The Dragon King was very shocked. This was the most suitable pill. For a moment, the Dragon King wanted to take the other party down and ask for the refining method. However, as soon as this thought appeared, he immediately suppressed it. The other party had 18 low-grade divine weapons. As long as the clone came out, he would definitely die. He would not even have a chance to struggle. This divine pill is indeed a precious pill. It has endless uses. Fellow Daoist, do you plan to use this pill to exchange for the mine? This was the richest guy the Dragon King had ever seen. Ordinary people would not be willing to exchange like this. When I came out, I didn't bring anything. I'll use this divine pill to exchange for it. The Dragon King pondered for a moment before saying, In my opinion, this kind of divine pill can be exchanged for 20 immortal reverent level holy stone mines and 5 sovereign level holy stone mines. Of course, this is also my personal opinion. With this ratio, Lin Fei knew that the Dragon King did not cheat him. It was a very fair exchange ratio. To Lin Fei, this ratio could still earn a lot of energy points. It was not a loss at all. All right, this ratio is fine. Lin Fei said straightforwardly, I need as many holy stone mines as possible. Oh, right. How many mines can a sovereign level weapon be exchanged for? The Dragon King was shocked by Lin Fei's generosity. He could not use divine pills to exchange for it. When he heard about sovereign level weapons, he was shocked again. Could it be that fellow Taoist has many sovereign level weapons? Lin Fei had many sovereign level weapons. Not to mention killing people, just exchanging for them was very cheap. Lin Fei did not care about this sovereign level weapon at all. However, to others, it was still very useful. When Lin Fei was fighting with the dragon race, he realized that some dragon race did not have any sovereign level weapons. They completely relied on their physical bodies to attack. That was why Lin Fei said this. The Dragon King was glad that he came. Whether it was divine pills or sovereign level weapons, they were very important to them. The Dragon King's breathing quickened when such a good thing came knocking on his door. All these years, the dragon race had been very poor. They were not as rich as the outside world thought. A low-grade ruler weapon can be exchanged for 50 immortal venerable grade mines or 10 ruler grade mines. A mid-grade dominator weapon can be exchanged for 500 immortal venerable grade mines or 100 dominator grade mines. High-grade sovereign grade or veins, 3,000 immortal venerable grade or veins, and 500 sovereign grade or veins. Supreme grade ruler weapons, 10,000 immortal venerable grade mines, and 3,000 ruler grade mines. The Dragon King said in a completely fair manner. It didn't matter if it was an immortal sovereign grade mine or a dominator grade mine. It was just a mine that could be used in battle or for cultivation. Ruler weapons were different. Any ruler's artifact could increase the user's combat power by several tens of %. Different grades would result in different explosive power. No one would ignore a ruler's weapon. For example, high-grade ruler armaments and peak-grade ruler armaments were practically priceless treasures. No one would take them out to sell. Even if there was one, it wouldn't be up to you to sell it. It would have been bought by those big shots long ago. Long Xianming used to have a supreme-grade ruler weapon. Unfortunately, it was damaged in battle, and only 20% of its original power remained. Now he was using a high-grade ruler weapon. I wonder if this ratio is suitable. The Dragon King asked worriedly. It's pretty good. Let's go with this ratio then. Lin Fei waved his hand, and ruler weapons of various sizes appeared in front of the two. Will these do? The two suddenly felt their heartbeats quicken, and their breathing quickened. So many ruler weapons. There must be at least 100 of them. This was what the two thought at the same time. If they were in the draconic divine territory, they wouldn't be surprised to see 100 ruler weapons. However, things were different now. The number of ruler weapons in the dragon tribe was decreasing. They didn't know how long it had been since they last saw so many ruler weapons. Yes, it's completely fine. I wonder if the dragon tribe can exchange first? The Dragon King found himself unable to sit still. The temptation was too great. Of course, Lin Fei replied. I'm not familiar with the Dark Night Galaxy, so I hope that the Dragon King can help me spread the word. Of course, if the Dragon King can exchange for a mine, as long as it's a mine, I will exchange according to this ratio. Let's see if you're tempted by such a big piece of meat. Chapter 16, 57. Out of Senfu. Both the Dragon King and Long Xianming were in a state of extreme shock. Both of them stared at each other blankly until they returned to Senfu. Father, Lin Fei must have an extraordinary background. He's able to take out so many treasures just like that. We haven't seen so many treasures since we left the draconic god domain. Long Xianming didn't have a good impression of Lin Fei at first. However, after saving them and what happened today, he didn't dare to underestimate Lin Fei anymore. He even raised his opinion of him to a higher level. He really couldn't afford to offend such a person. The Dragon King looked at his son. That's for sure. Although we didn't get any useful information, it's our dragon race's luck to be able to obtain such a huge benefit. Gather everyone in the dragon race now. We'll buy what we have on hand before we go out to buy more. It's a pity that we don't know what else Lin Fei needs us to do next. I'm really looking forward to it. The Dragon King coveted the treasures that they could exchange for. Especially the last sentence. It was no different from giving them a chance to earn money. A big one at that. The Dragon King wanted to have complete control over elixirs like divine pills. Ruler armaments could be taken out to be traded. Any ruler would not be able to resist such a temptation. For example, a peak-grade ruler armament would definitely move many people. The Dragon King could imagine that the strength of the dragon race would rise to the next level because of this. I'll arrange it right away. Long Xianming was very excited himself. The next day, Long Xianming gathered all the dragon race members together. He told them about the exchange, be it the ruler battle armor or the ruler weapon. The dragon race's eyes lit up immediately. Many dragon rulers did not have a ruler weapon. The Immortal Supremes had been looking forward to it for a long time. When this news came down, it was like a big meat pie almost knocking them out. Where else could they find such a good deal? Saint Stone Mine? They really didn't care. The dragon race fought in close combat. Although the Saint Stone Mine was still in use, it wasn't very useful. Now that they heard that they could exchange for it, they couldn't help but want to. Fortunately, the Dragon King was there to stop them. Otherwise, no one would have stopped to listen. They couldn't wait to exchange their Saint Stone Mine. Those who did not have a ruler weapon needed to exchange for one. Those who had a low-grade ruler weapon needed to exchange for a mid-grade ruler weapon. All kinds of thoughts popped up in his mind. The dragon island that Lin Fei temporarily resided on immediately became lively. Fortunately, Lin Fei was prepared, using 10 low-grade ruler armaments to recruit 10 dragon race rulers to help manage the dragon race. Those people's eyes turned red. As long as they did a good job, they would be able to obtain a low-grade ruler armament for free. No matter how bad the temper of the chosen dragons was, in front of this ruler's weapon, they immediately laughed. With their management, everyone lined up in an orderly manner. "Can I have this low-quality ruler?" Lin Fei sat to the side. As long as the Orvane was brought over, the other party could choose whatever grade of ruler's armament they wanted. This caused them to be incomparably excited. "Don't worry, everyone will have a chance." With the holy stone veins in his hands, Lin Fei was in a brilliant mood the entire day. In less than a day, Lin Fei had harvested a large number of holy stone veins. Who told the dragon race to be a tycoon, they had brought a lot of veins with them. Not only did they exchange their rulers' weapons, they also wanted their rulers' battle armor. In the beginning, the scene was very busy and lively. The dragon race was worried that they would not have anything good after exchanging. Only when the people in front were satisfied and left did everyone quiet down. It took more than 2 days to complete the exchange. Some of the dragon race even went out to search for Orvanes. The entire dragon race was very excited. The Dragon King did not stop them. He even let them go and spread the news. The Dragon King, who did not go out all this time, also left the Dragon Island after paying a visit. He went to some places in the Dark Knight galaxy. What he was going to do was self-evident. The dragon race is full of tycoons. On the first day, Lin Fei exchanged for more than 100 million energy points. The number of rulers' weapons and rulers' battle armor was already innumerable. The price Lin Fei paid was negligible. A low-grade ruler's weapon and a low-grade battle armor were very cheap. The amount of energy points they exchanged was enough to buy a large number of low-grade rulers' weapons. Lin Fei was grinning from ear to ear. This was only the first day. He would break records every day. Lin Fei could imagine what kind of scene it would be. "I have more and more potential to become a merchant." In the past, Lin Fei might not have cared about rulers' weapons. Now it seemed that these things were very helpful to any race. For example, the current dragon race. Lin Fei patted his chest and said that in a few more days, the dragon race's strength would definitely increase by a lot. With rulers' weapons and rulers' battle armor, any race would be afraid of them. This was a crushing defeat in terms of equipment. "Master, you are so bad." Little Devil would also come out if he had nothing to do. "What's wrong with me? They need treasures. I need holy stone or veins. This is a very fair trade." Lin Fei ate the immortal fruits contributed by the dragon race with relish, selling cabbage at the price of gold. If they knew, they would probably drown you with their saliva. Little Devil laughed evilly. "However, this move of yours is good. The Dragon King doesn't even know that he fell for your trick. When he realizes, it will be too late for regrets." Lin Fei said proudly, "That's their own business. I didn't force them. I just provided an exchange platform for them. Whether they want to exchange or not is their own business. They are used to using rulers' weapons. Moreover, they know that there is a place to exchange. They will be full of motivation to obediently work for Master and exchange for those treasures." In fact, this was exactly what Lin Fei was thinking. No matter which territory, rulers' treasures were in high demand. Moreover, they were priceless. Basically, they were monopolized. Those with low strength would have to work for hundreds or even thousands of years to get their hands on them. However, they were given a platform now. If one day they lost it, they would be in great pain. If they lost their source of income, they would tear down the Dragon Island. From the moment they exchanged, they had actually walked into Lin Fei's trap. Moreover, they didn't know that they had fallen for it. Moreover, they were very happy. In the next few days, the people of the dragon race were all very excited. There was always a long queue outside. Every day, they would contribute Orvanes to Lin Fei. This was also the happiest day for the dragon race. There were even some rulers who couldn't forget the excitement of this day. It was also the first time they realized that things that were difficult for them to obtain in the past were now very easy to obtain. Those clansmen who refined the treasures praised the treasures to everyone they met. Compared to the treasures in their hands, they were simply two worlds apart. They could be thrown into the trash. How could a perfect and flawless treasure produced by the system be inferior? In less than 5 days, the entire dragon race had exchanged all the ore veins for treasures. Lin Fei also obtained a total of 5 billion energy points from the dragon race. As for the consumption, it was almost negligible. It was a profiteering industry. Once he obtained the energy points, Lin Fei repaired all the formations and restrictions in the battle fortress. With more than 2 billion energy points on hand, Lin Fei wasn't as strapped as before. He needed to plan how to use them. The dragon race that he had gotten his hands on. He was still unwilling to miss such a good opportunity. On the 6th day, Lin Fei released a message. As long as the person who introduced them to exchange for treasures was successful, the person who introduced them would get a certain number of points. When the number of points reached a certain number, they could exchange for the ruler's treasure. Once the news came out, it was undoubtedly good news for the dragon race. "Hey, where are you going?" "Of course, I'm going to call my friend. I can't miss such a good opportunity." "Points for introducing people?" "I happen to have a few friends who need the ruler's treasure. I can definitely get a lot of points." "That's great. I'll tell my friend right away." It had to be said that the response brought about by Lin Fei's news was sensational. The clansmen on Dragon Island all ran out. They all went to find their friends. "Big brother, look at that Lin Fei. The entire dragon race is jumping up and down now." Long Xuanqin looked at the clansmen running around, her mouth hanging open. Long Tianxing now worshipped Lin Fei 120 times. "What's wrong with that?" Long Tianxing said with a smile. "Didn't you exchange for a middle-grade ruler's battle armor and a middle-grade ruler's weapon? If it wasn't for Big Brother Lin, it would probably take a long time for you to buy them." Long Xuanqin glared at him. "I'm ignoring you." Although Long Tianxing was a highness, his wealth was ordinary. This time his combat power had increased by a lot. It was also thanks to the high-grade ruler's weapon that he exchanged for. This was unimaginable before. Hee, if those guys knew about this, they would definitely be envious to death. I can also go and earn some points. Long Tianxing also flew out. The people of the 10 Dragon Kings were dead. For the time being, there was no danger. The dragon race all ran out. Everyone wanted to pull him over so that they could contribute some points and exchange for treasures for free. The current Lin Fei was a great benefactor in their eyes. "What you said is true. You didn't lie to me." On the way to the uninhabited star, a big bald man asked suspiciously, "Didn't you see it? Why would I lie to you? If we weren't friends, I wouldn't have asked you for such benefits," said a tall and sturdy man next to him in disdain. "Big Dragon, I believe you, okay?" "Humph, no integrity." Big Dragon was a member of the dragon race. He himself had exchanged for a low-grade ruler's weapon and battle armor. The person he brought was his friend. Originally, he had lost quite a lot in sparring. This time, he crushed the other party and felt proud. Chapter 1658. Big Dragon brought his friend to Dragon Island. Originally, the dragon race had a restriction that forbade people from entering. Now, everyone chose to ignore it. They were all concerned about how to benefit themselves. The array formation outside was still activated. What's wrong with the dragon race? Big Dragon's friend was called Su Jiang. He had also wandered to Dark Night Star River. He had heard a few things about the dragon race. However, this time he was doubting everything he saw. The entire dragon race was empty and quiet. Su Jiang even suspected that the dragon clan had moved to another place. Otherwise, where would these people go? "What do you mean?" Big Dragon didn't understand. I'm talking about people. Where are the dragon race's people? Didn't they all say they were on Dragon Island? Su Jiang asked curiously. Big Dragon laughed. They're all out. I'll take you to exchange for some good stuff. You'll thank me later. Su Jiang wasn't a ruler with a background. He was just an unaffiliated cultivator. He had no background, so he could only wander around. He was stronger than Big Dragon, but he couldn't accept his loss. Hearing there was a place to exchange for ruler weapons, regardless of whether it was real or fake, he came immediately. As long as there was a chance, he would give it a try. As long as I can exchange for a ruler weapon, I'll let you drink my immortal brew. Su Jiang knew that Big Dragon coveted his immortal brew. He had asked many times, but Big Dragon didn't agree. Big Dragon smiled. Then I'll drink it for sure. On an island not far away, Su Jiang saw some dragon race members on the island. They seemed to be in charge of something. Those people. Seeing them, Su Jiang was startled. He recognized them. They weren't from the dragon race, yet they could enter. He was even more confused. You'll know soon. On the island, there was a place in charge of collecting or veins. I want a low-grade ruler weapon, the kind with gloves. Do you have any? A ruler of a foreign race asked with a cold aura. The one in charge was a dragon race ruler. He glared. We have everything. As long as you can take out the Saint Stone vein. Even if you want a high-grade ruler weapon or a peak ruler weapon, it won't be a problem. Every day, a large number of ruler armaments were used. The rulers working here had long since worshipped Lin Fei, and when they saw someone questioning him, they naturally had to defend Lin Fei. This is the ore vein for exchange. Although the outsider sovereign lord was arrogant, he didn't dare to be too arrogant in front of the dragon race. Someone will go and check immediately. The quantity is correct. Here, this is a low-grade sovereign's fist glove. Whatever name you want, you can name it yourself. A low-grade boxing glove was tossed out. The outsider hegemon's eyes almost popped out of their sockets when he saw this. He hurriedly caught the weapon, but he couldn't help but grumble inwardly. This was a sovereign weapon, after all. Why was it being thrown around like trash in your hands? After a brief inspection, the outsider sovereign's eyes lit up. Good stuff, really good stuff. This was the outsider sovereign's first time seeing a perfect, low-grade sovereign's gauntlet. With it, he would be able to increase his power by a significant amount. This was a good deal. Immediately, a dragon pulled him to a place with no one around. What do you think? I was right, wasn't I? The dragon said with an honest smile, Let me tell you a secret. I used a favor to help you exchange for this. I wouldn't say this to most people, but we're friends. The outsider sovereign lord was extremely grateful. The dragon race really was a good person. Here you go. These are 10 immortal sovereign or veins. If you have friends who want to exchange for them, you can find me. I love helping others. I thank you on behalf of everyone. Su Jiang, who had been brought by Dalong, came out in a daze. Looking at the low-grade sovereign weapon in his hand, he wondered if he was dreaming. He pinched his arm and looked at the low-grade sovereign treasure in his hand. Only then did he know that he wasn't dreaming. He, a loose sovereign, had finally gotten a sovereign weapon. Hearing that they could exchange for battle armor and the like, Su Jiang took out some immortal brew and pulled Dalong along for a drink. This kind of situation happened every day. Everyone left in shock. After leaving, they couldn't help but spread the news to their friends. After reaching the immortal venerable realm and sovereign realm, even if they didn't have many friends, they would still have a few. The speed at which news spread was extraordinarily fast. The news that the Dark Knight Galaxy's dragon race could exchange for sovereign treasures spread like the wind. As long as there were Saint Stone veins, anyone could exchange for sovereign treasures. This news quickly spread in a region. Those who had already exchanged immediately came out to advertise. More people knew about this matter, especially those who did not have high-grade weapons in their hands. They brought the holy stone vein with them, regardless of the consequences. The originally dead star. It instantly became lively. At first, there were some nearby immortal sovereigns. Those who could drift alone in the dark night galaxy were at least immortal sovereigns or sovereigns. No one was willing to come here and die. More and more people came. There were people coming and going on Dragon Island. More and more people came every day. If this news spread, it would be a big deal. Some of the nearby wandering families came immediately. As more and more people came, Lin Fei simply shifted his position outside the restriction formation and set up a formation. He did not reject anyone who came to make an exchange. After the dragon race received benefits from Lin Fei, they became the best thugs and were in charge of the exchange. Some people who had other thoughts immediately gave up when they saw the large group of dragon race members. Robbery. Didn't they see where they were? This was the dragon race's territory. They had a strong army. Because a few sovereigns tried to cut the line, they were strong. The dragon race came to mediate, but those people didn't give them face. The dragon race took out mid-grade sovereign weapons and beat them up. If it was just one dragon race member, they might not have done anything. However, the 7 or 8 dragon race experts were all using mid-grade ruler weapons. Moreover, they were wearing mid-grade ruler battle armor. This caused everyone to be frightened. Some of them recognized the dragon race. A few years ago, they had low-grade sovereign weapons and battle robes. In such a short time, they had changed so much. Offending the dragon race at this time was courting death. After this, everyone calmed down. Of course, they were also guessing who would spend so much money to exchange for Saint Stone veins. Did this thing have some use? No matter how they thought about it, they couldn't guess the final result. Great King, good news, great news! On a dead star in the dark night galaxy, a cold wind blew. In the depths of the star, there was a huge black senfu, faintly discernible in the cold wind. In the main hall of the senfu, a group of immortal paragons and sovereigns were chomping down on meat, watching the immortal maiden dance gracefully and laughing incessantly. At this moment, an immortal king ran in and knelt in the main hall, speaking to the person on the throne in the distance. "Little 8, what's wrong with you? Today is the great king's good day. What are you doing here?" shouted an immortal sovereign. "Captain, it's really good news. If you're late, you won't get another chance," said the person called Little 8 with his head lowered. "Stop," said the person on the throne, his tone frivolous. "Tell me what good news. If you can't tell me, I'll cut you up." Little 8 was pale with fright. He braced himself and said, "Great King, a friend of mine told me that someone is exchanging for a large number of sovereign treasures on Dragon Island, not far from us. All they need is a Saint Stone vein. I thought it was fake when I heard it, but I couldn't resist the temptation. I went there myself and found out it was real. I don't know who it is, but they really are exchanging for sovereign treasures." Little 8 described the matter very realistically. All the leaders present roared with laughter. "Little 8, what nonsense are you talking about? How can it be real? Yeah, this is the Dark Night Galaxy, not the outside world. Right now, you can only buy some sovereign's treasures in the Galaxy City. The quality is average, but it's enough to make everyone jealous. How could the Dragon Clan have so many sovereign's treasures?" Many people didn't believe it. This included the Starlight Dominator on the throne. "Nonsense. A bunch of nonsense. Drag him out and behead him." The Starlight Dominator wasn't a rogue, nor was he from a clan. He was just a group of pirates in the Dark Night Galaxy that went out to commit crimes and rob all kinds of valuables. "Great King, I'm telling the truth." Little 8 kept kowtowing and begging for mercy. The people who came and didn't care. They dragged Little 8 out to be beheaded. "What kind of head are you going to behead?" At this time, laughter came from outside. A one-eyed middle-aged man walked in with 2 subordinates. When the Starlight Dominator saw the newcomer, his eyes shot out 2 beams of light. "What are you doing here?" "Of course it's for something important. I don't have time to chat with you today. On Dragon Star, this name was actually given by Lin Fei. It couldn't be called an uninhabited star, right? These days, Lin Fei had a smile on his face every day. The energy points rolling in every day were even more than what he had gained on the Divine Mountain. Everyone's enthusiasm was too high, especially the Dragon Clan. They came up with all kinds of ideas. Even the honest ones started to bluff. Lin Fei ignored their choices. Battle number 1. Make arrangements for these war angels and giant war beasts for me. After spending a lot of energy points, Lin Fei fixed the internal problems of the battle fortress. Next was naturally to summon the war angels and giant war beasts that could fight. He was preparing to create a war army that would come in handy at critical moments. Come to think of it, the Dragon King should be back soon. Lin Fei didn't care much about the daily exchanges outside. He was very concerned about the Dragon King's side. That would be a generous income. Fellow Taoist Lin Fei, are you there? A few days later, Lin Fei was still enjoying himself when the Dragon King's voice came. Oh my, you brought so many people. Chapter 1659. Dragon King was not on Dragon Island. Lin Fei knew where Dragon King had gone. Now that Dragon King was back, it was about time. If Lin Fei had gone out, it might have been even faster. Lin Fei used his divine sense to check and smiled. He was not the only one with the Dragon King. There were more than 10 people with him, and all of them seemed to be of high status. Lin Fei did not doubt that there were people from Galaxy City among them. Dragon King had indeed gone to Galaxy City. After returning that day, Dragon King had gone to Galaxy City alone, preparing to make a big deal. Just as Dragon King had expected, Dragon King had gone to Galaxy City and spent a lot of effort. Finally, he had convinced them. Although they were convinced, they were still skeptical. Dragon King wanted to earn a fortune, but it was not that easy. He had brought them over personally. 9 Dragons King, when did your place become so lively? Look at those people. 9 Dragons King, looks like you're in luck. Those who came were all influential people in Galaxy City. They were friends. In fact, they were just ordinary friends, friends with benefits. If it was someone else, they might not have been able to become friends. Fortunately, the Dragon King came with a branch, and everyone knew his strength. They came as soon as they heard such a good thing. If they didn't come in vain, they wouldn't suffer any loss. On the contrary, it would mean a lot to them. Dragon King did not know why it had become lively. Thinking about it carefully, he knew what was going on. It must have been caused by the exchange. It's been this lively since a long time ago. Dragon King laughed. My friend is in that Senfu. You will know when you see him. Everyone paid attention, because they saw the people leaving with smiles on their faces. This was very rare. If one was normal, then what about 2 or 3? Anyone who wasn't an idiot could see the current situation. Dragon King was right. That person might really exist. Dragon King. The moment the Dragon King returned with his people, he ignored his clansmen and led them into the immortal abode. Is Taoist Lin inside? The people replied, Yes, Dragon King, follow me. The clansmen who were helping didn't dare to hide anything. In fact, after the Dragon King informed Lin Fei informed the Dragon Clan outside to bring them in later. Welcome. Lin Fei wasn't in the mood. These people had come for his sovereign weapon, which meant that they had a favor to ask of him. If he really went out, he would be lowering his head, and that would be pointless. Your friend sure is arrogant. One of the middle-aged men had a displeased look on his face. He was a great clan head in Galaxy City, and his name was Ruler Fengsai. He was also a peak 9 stars ruler, and his status could be considered respectable. They were displeased that the other party did not come out to greet them when they arrived. Even the Dragon King had to be polite to them, and it had become a habit. We've traveled a great distance to come here. We're his guests, so why isn't he coming out to welcome us? A few of them nodded in agreement. The Dragon King smiled bitterly. If they were outside, he wouldn't have bothered with these people. But in Dark Knight Galaxy, it wasn't a good thing to offend these people. Everyone, please forgive me. That's just my friend's personality. If he has neglected you in any way, I apologize on behalf of my friend, the Dragon King said in a low voice. Seeing the Dragon King apologizing, their expressions softened a little. Taoist Lin Fei. The Dragon King brought them to the main hall of Senfu. Lin Fei was in the main hall of Senfu. Dragon King, I haven't seen you in a few days. I thought you went somewhere to have fun. Lin Fei laughed. The people who came with the Dragon King were stunned when they saw Lin Fei, and the same thought popped into their minds. So young. In their imagination, if he was a friend of the Dragon King, he must be old. How could he be so young? Was he trying to fool them? Dragon King, this is your friend. Ruler Feng, Sai said unhappily as if he had been fooled. Taoist Feng, this is Lin Fei, a friend of mine for many years, the Dragon King explained. My friend was in charge of exchanging the ore vein for a sovereign weapon. When Lin Fei saw the Dragon King's expression, he could not help but shake his head. He thought to himself, the dragon tribe is really not doing well. They even need to humble themselves. You can exchange for a sovereign weapon? Another ruler asked directly. They weren't really interested in a young man. They just yelled at him, regardless of where he came from. In front of them, no matter who he was, he had to do whatever he was told. This was also because they were very powerful in Dark Knight Galaxy. For example, when the Dragon King brought his clan here, it was also because of them that he managed to gain a foothold here after paying a huge price. The mighty Dragon Clan, a powerful clan, had to do this, not to mention others. Lin Fei was instantly displeased. He had thought that the Dragon King had made things clear to them. Now it seemed like he was just a passerby. Lin Fei wasn't a rookie. Even if these people were very powerful, he wouldn't care. Competing in strength? He didn't even know who would die. I want to tell you that the Dragon King should have made things clear to you before you came. As long as you pay the Orvain and reach a certain grade, I can prepare any sovereign weapon you want. Lin Fei said unhurriedly. If you don't believe me, you can turn around and leave. The dozen rulers glared angrily at this young man named Lin Fei. How dare you speak to us like this? Ruler Feng, Sai, was very pleased with this guy. It had been a long time since someone dared to speak to him like this. The Dragon King broke out in cold sweat. He didn't expect Lin Fei's tone to be so harsh. If he had known earlier, he would have made things clear. Lin Fei didn't care about these threats. Everyone here is a reputable person. If you want to be unreasonable here, then you are wrong. You will definitely regret it. Lin Fei pursed his lips. Although he knew that they were here to trade, Lin Fei wouldn't suffer any grievances. After all, he didn't care about that tiny bit of Orvain. As long as he left Dark Knight Star River and went outside, he wouldn't have to worry about not being able to sell his goods. Lin Fei wasn't anxious at all. Ruler Feng Sai didn't get angry. Instead, he laughed. You said that you can take out any weapon. I wonder if you can take out a low-grade god artifact. That's right. Can you take out a low-grade god artifact? How arrogant. As long as you take out a low-grade god artifact, we will believe that you have the ability. Ruler Feng Sai was the strongest among them. Hearing this, they immediately chimed in. As far as they were concerned, this person was just bragging. It didn't matter if it was a sovereign-grade weapon. Not just anyone could do such a thing. The Dragon King had a headache. How did things end up like this? He wanted to say a few words to ease the atmosphere, but he was forced to stop by the other party's gaze. You want to see a low-grade god artifact? Why? Lin Fei said impatiently. He didn't give them any face at all. Everyone was infuriated by this. Dragon King, your friend really doesn't give me any face. Ruler Feng Sai said darkly. I was going to give you face, but your friend, the Dragon King, knew that Ruler Feng Sai was angry. He was a narrow-minded guy. He clearly wanted the Dragon King to give him an explanation. But did the Dragon King dare to? He didn't dare at all. The 10 Dragon Kings were half a step into the heavenly god realm. They could kill them easily. If he went up, he would be sending himself to his death. The Dragon King wouldn't dare to do such a thing even if he had 100 guts. Lin Fei was a little disappointed in the Dragon King. This wasn't the Dragon King he knew. Do you know how precious a low-grade divine artifact is if you want to see it? However, if you hand over a deposit, I don't mind showing you a low-grade divine artifact. In any case, you can't afford it. Lin Fei said indifferently, "You deserve to die." The ruler next to Ruler Feng, Sai, flew into a rage. He didn't care that the Dragon King was present and attacked. He was just a nobody. So what if he killed him? Ever since Lin Fei's strength had improved greatly on the Divine Mountains, he'd only been humiliated by that ruler. He really didn't care about anyone else. This attack landed squarely on Lin Fei's body. "I thought you were strong. So this is all you've got." Lin Fei said disdainfully, "You dare to act so arrogantly in front of me? You really don't know what's good for you." Lin Fei withstood the attack and was unscathed. But to them, they immediately realized that something was wrong, especially the ruler who attacked. His expression was very ugly, and a bad feeling arose in his heart. He was a ruler of 9 stars. If he couldn't injure an ordinary kid, then this kid must have a powerful background. Bam! Lin Fei's fist smashed into the ruler's face. The ruler was sent flying, exploding in midair like a rubber ball. Now, Lin Fei's fist could kill a ruler of 9 stars with a single punch. Hiss! They all sucked in a breath of cold air. He had killed the ruler with a single punch. This guy was very strong. They hadn't even sensed the aura fluctuations when he attacked. This was too terrifying. The Dragon King hurriedly said, "Taoist Lin Fei, why did you do this?" Lin Fei flicked his fingers. Hee, I don't like people who think they're infallible. You want to kill me? Why don't you take a look at who you are? Ruler Feng didn't really care about this young man at first. He didn't care about such a minor character at all. But when he easily killed a ruler of 9 stars, the situation was completely different. At the very least, he was very strong. Such a person would be very difficult to deal with. Ruler Feng coldly snorted. What a tyrannical method. You killed someone just like that. If I were you, I'd hurry up and leave. Otherwise, I won't be able to leave in the future. The fact that Ruler Feng said this proved that he was afraid of Lin Fei. Actually, I don't like killing people. I like doing business with everyone. Lin Fei grinned. Are you all interested in my proposal just now? A low-grade god equipment. That's a good thing. Chapter 1660. Right now, they were rather wary of this person. Now that this person was saying these words, they no longer doubted him. This person could easily kill a 9-star sovereign. Perhaps he really did have these things. To them, low-quality divine artifacts were too far away. Not just anyone could take them out. However, this person was too mysterious and didn't care about them at all. If it weren't for the fact that someone had died, perhaps they wouldn't care at all. If this person could kill a 9-star sovereign, it wouldn't be hard for him to kill them. However, they weren't willing to be killed. Even if they had a chance of killing this person, it wasn't worth it to drag them down with him. Forget about the low-quality divine artifacts. Let's look at the sovereign weapons. They still didn't ask for low-quality divine artifacts. In their organization, the sovereign weapon was the most useful. Lin Fei harumphed inwardly. Humph. You won't behave until I kill you. In truth, although Lin Fei didn't really care about chasing them out, he couldn't just reject something that had been delivered to him. Whoosh! Lin Fei waved his hand, and more than 100 low-quality sovereign weapons appeared. This is a low-quality sovereign weapon. The sealed sovereign had thought that this person would take out a dozen or so sovereign weapons at most. However, when more than 100 were piled up together, it was extremely shocking. Everyone's eyes landed on the low-quality, sovereign weapons. This is a mid-quality sovereign weapon. Lin Fei tossed out another large pile of mid-quality sovereign weapons. This caused their breathing to quicken. That wasn't all. Lin Fei waved his hand again. This time, high-quality sovereign weapons appeared. High-quality sovereign weapons were extremely important. More than 100 of them appeared at once. They couldn't help but feel excited. They simply couldn't imagine that this person would have so many sovereign weapons and carry them with him. This person was too rich. High-quality sovereign weapons are nothing. There are even better ones. Whoosh! Another few dozen top-quality sovereign weapons appeared. This time, they couldn't help but be moved. If one said how many sovereign weapons one had, they wouldn't feel anything. However, when they were all piled up together, the visual impact was unimaginable. Their faction only had a limited number of low-quality sovereign weapons, let alone top-quality ones. Their eyes instantly turned red. Mine! They're all mine! Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! Smelly brat, these things belong to me. To be able to have a certain amount of influence in the Dark Night Star River, they would do anything for benefits. With so many rulers' weapons in front of them, it was undoubtedly a fat piece of meat. No one would be able to control their greed. If they could snatch them back, it would definitely increase their overall strength by a large margin. When the final top-grade Dominator was taken out, their desires were completely unleashed. There was only one thought in everyone's mind, and that was to snatch the items, snatch them all, and not leave a single one behind. A total of 6 hegemons immediately attacked Lin Fei. As long as they killed Lin Fei, the item would still be theirs. No matter how strong you are, I'm afraid you're not their match. This Lin Fei is destined to be killed by them. For the sake of these treasures, killing the other party was completely worth it. Lin Fei narrowed his eyes, shooting out a cold light. You reckless fool! The heavenly deity's saber landed in Lin Fei's hand. He casually slashed at them, and an aura of death locked onto them. The person who had just attacked felt as if he was shrouded by death. An irresistible power attacked them. In front of this power, they were extremely weak. They were 9 stars hegemons, and there wasn't much of a difference between them. How could they block a single attack from the heavenly deity's saber? The moment they attacked, the result was already decided. Corpses fell one after another. There was no sign of life. A single slash had killed them. The Dragon King lowered his head and sneered inwardly. Serves you right. You should have snatched Lin Fei's items. No one can save you. Lin Fei put away the heavenly deity's saber and narrowed his eyes. If any of you want more, I have no objections. The remaining 8 or 9 hegemons had originally planned to attack, but unfortunately they were a step too late. However, they didn't care. Even if they killed Lin Fei, they couldn't get away with it. No matter what, they would get a share of the benefits. But in the blink of an eye, those who attacked were all dead. The most frightening thing was that they were all killed with a single slash. They knew that they wouldn't be able to block that terrifying aura. It was a complete suppression. What ruthless methods! Fortunately, I didn't attack. This brat is too black-hearted. He deliberately baited us into attacking. The sealed hegemon's face paled as he tried to calm himself down. Thinking back to everything that had happened, he immediately understood. The other party had done this on purpose. When he saw the large number of hegemon weapons, the sealed hegemon actually had his own thoughts. He was usually relatively calm and wasn't in a hurry to attack. Instead, he pondered what kind of background this person had and what kind of support he had. He had been a step too late to attack. Fortunately, he hadn't attacked, or he would have died without a doubt. The sealed hegemon could feel that the weapon just now was a low-grade divine artifact. That was the most frightening thing. Fellow Taoist Lin, you killed them well. These people wanted to obtain a hegemon weapon. They are truly worthless. The sealed hegemon harshly criticized them. I've known them for many years, but I didn't expect them to be such a person. Well killed. This kind of person deserves to die. Facing the powerful Lin Fei, They didn't dare to say anything. They immediately cut ties with them. After all, they were already dead, so they could say whatever they wanted. Lin Fei shook his head disappointedly. Sigh, I actually hate killing people the most. These words naturally caused them to have a bellyful of complaints. Hate killing people? Who are you trying to fool? If things go wrong, you might even want them to attack or even us to kill them all. At this time, they could only think about it. They didn't dare to say it out loud. If they were killed, it would be a huge loss. Lin Fei didn't care whether they believed him or not. He quickly took the storage rings from the corpses. There were no storage rings, so the other hegemons didn't dare to say anything. After a quick inspection, there really were many veins. It was a pity that their items were all given to Lin Fei. They had picked up a huge bargain. Dragon King, you should have said that there were so many hegemon weapons. This is a huge loss, the sealed hegemon said with a wry smile. At this time, he was thinking about how to complete the transaction. Not only did he have to complete this transaction, but he also had to complete the following transactions. As for the dead hegemons, they were already dead. As long as they could exchange for enough hegemon weapons, their faction would quickly grow. The Dragon King seemed to be relieved as well. If it was in the past, the dragon race wouldn't care about killing people. But now, Lin Fei was like himself in the past. He didn't care about who the other party was, and he killed until they were speechless. They couldn't help but admire Lin Fei's skills. I really don't know. The sealed hegemon didn't believe the Dragon King's words. Dragon King, is it really like what you said? As long as there are veins, we can exchange for hegemon weapons. The sealed hegemon asked again. Lin Fei directly said, the smell of blood here is heavy. I'm going to take a breather. As for the transaction, you guys can discuss it with the Dragon King. After keeping the hegemon weapons, Lin Fei left the Senfu. At this time, the Dragon King really wanted to thank Lin Fei for leaving this matter to him. Lin Fei went outside. He couldn't be bothered with the Senfu's matters. Lin Fei believed that the Dragon King would do well. If he didn't, he would have to doubt the Dragon King's ability. How much meat could be taken from them would depend on the Dragon King's ability. Those people would definitely pay the price. Lin Fei knew that those people weren't fools. They definitely wouldn't miss such a good thing. If they really missed it, they would be the #1 fool in the world. Outside, the dragon race people greeted him. Now, Lin Fei's name was known by everyone in the dragon race. Anyone who saw him would be polite. Of course, there were also some dragon race people who wanted nothing more than to work under Lin Fei. They could easily obtain treasures. Where could they find such a good thing? Senfu, for the first time, the Dragon King was flattered. Everyone wanted to complete the transaction. In addition, they were afraid that they would leave a bad impression with their previous tone. This was something that had never happened before. The Dragon King was about to cry. Lin Fei was really a good person. He gave him such a favor and made him proud. However, they didn't dare to have any thoughts. When they came out, Lin Fei was barbecuing meat at the side. He wasn't the one barbecuing, but a few dragon race people. They heard that Lin Fei liked to eat barbecued meat. These dragon race people caught delicious immortal beasts and barbecued them for Lin Fei. If not for the fact that the dragon race didn't know how to dance, they might have even danced to liven things up. When they came out, they immediately surrounded them. In their eyes, there were dominator weapons. They didn't dare to have any thoughts about someone they couldn't see through and who was a threat to them. You want 20 low-grade dominator weapons, 5 middle-grade dominator weapons, and 6 low-grade god robes. You want 30 low-grade dominator weapons and 10 middle-grade dominator weapons. No problem. You want 53 pieces. No problem. The price is too expensive. No, this is the cheapest price. No bargaining. It had to be said that these people were rich. Even the cheapest one bought 20 low-grade dominator weapons. The richest one was the sealed dominator. He bought 100 low-grade Dominator weapons in one go and 3 top-grade Dominator weapons. He used up a lot of his wealth, but he still had a smile on his face. This time, they had gotten a huge bargain. If they brought these weapons back, they could increase the strength of a group of people. In the dark Night Star River, they didn't lack anything but weapons. Moreover, they needed good quality weapons. They loved Lin Fei so much that they couldn't bear to part with him. As for resentment, it was long gone. It wasn't worth it to make things difficult for such a person. Now, it was better to have a good relationship with him. They had used up a lot of ores to get what they wanted, but they didn't feel any heartache. Instead, they regretted not bringing more ores. The Dragon King was also smiling. Lin Fei could guarantee that this guy had earned a lot. This was something he was happy to see. Big brother, it's here. What dragon race? Let's snatch it first. Everyone kill. Suddenly, shouts of killing came from outside. Chapter 1661. The sky above the planet was packed with people. They charged towards the people below. These people exuded a monstrous killing aura, and their movements were orderly. Their equipment was also not bad, so they were definitely not in a mess. Immediately, many immortal kings and immortal venerables were killed, and their corpses fell down one after another. It's them. That's the Starlight Hegemon's men, and Hegemon Wanli's men as well. When did they join hands? Didn't they always have a grudge against each other? Someone below immediately recognized it. Fear appeared on their faces. It was obvious that these two people had powerful backgrounds, causing everyone's expression to change. There were also some who quickly flew out, but before they could even leave the planet, they were killed through the air. The ones who had attacked were the 2 hegemons who had been escorted. Listen up, if you don't want to die, kneel down and surrender. The Starlight Juggernaut casually killed a 1-star Juggernaut who was running away. After 3 breaths, those who don't surrender will be killed without mercy. The Starlight Sovereign's killing aura soared to the heavens. It was unknown just how many people he had killed to achieve such a level of killing aura. The Dragon King had an ugly look on his face. Hegemon Starlight, Hegemon Wind. What is the meaning of this? Don't you know that this is Dragon Island, the territory of the dragon kind? The Dragon King was the first one who couldn't sit still when someone attacked the Dragon Island. This was equivalent to being slapped in the face. Ha ha ha, you old fool. What else can we do here? I heard that your dragon clan has obtained quite a few ruler weapons, and it just so happens that my subordinates are lacking in equipment and weapons, so I might as well come and get them. The Starlight Dominus laughed loudly. You guys are going too far. The veins on the Dragon King's face were bulging. He wanted nothing more than to kill them. So what if we bully your dragon clan? If you don't want to die, you'd better hand them all over, lest we kill all of your clansmen. Hegemon Wind Wanli laughed as well. You don't wish for your clansmen to die in the Dark Night Star either. That would be a pity. You are dragons, after all. In their eyes, a half-step heavenly god Dragon King was not a threat to them, even if the Dragon King was slightly stronger than them. You, the Dragon King roared angrily. A hint of helplessness flashed through his eyes. Ha ha ha. The Starlight Hegemon and the Wind Hegemon once more laughed loudly, disdainful looks on their faces. Dragon King? He was just an old thing. Lin Fei's expression did not change as he calmly asked, Dragon King, who are they? They seemed to have a powerful background. You guys are from the Dragon Clan. Don't tell me you're afraid of them. When these people appeared, Lin Fei couldn't help but applaud. The worse the days of the Dragon Clan were, the more they could take them down. This arrogant race must be filled with rage at this moment. Looking at the surrounding dragon race, Lin Fei could clearly see that all of them were enraged. Fellow Taoist Lin Fei, there's something you don't know. The 2 people up there have great backgrounds, and we can't afford to offend them. After making a deal with Lin Fei, Ruler Fensai had no choice but to lower his pride. In the future, he was prepared to cooperate with Lin Fei and this matter wasn't a secret, so there was no harm in revealing it. Lin Fei would find out sooner or later anyway, so he might as well do it himself and improve the impression he had left on Lin Fei. Where did he come from? The Starlight ruler on the left is from the Li clan, one of the 3 great aristocratic clans of the Star River. The one on the right, Feng Wanli, is an illegitimate child of the Feng clan. Ruler Fensai revealed a look of fear. They both have a demigod ancestor who has already condensed a divine body. To kill them, one must be at the heavenly god realm. Half-step heavenly god? Lin Fei blinked. That was amazing. Dragon King, you are also a half-step heavenly god. Don't tell me you are afraid of them. You are the Dragon King of the Dragon Clan. Killing them is a piece of cake. Lin Fei teased. Dragon King's face alternated between green and red as he smiled bitterly. Sigh, times are different now. Moreover, I am not a half-step heavenly god. I haven't even condensed a divine body. Compared to them, my realm is far from theirs. How can I be a match for them? Dragon King was indeed very sullen after hearing Lin Fei's words. If this was any other time, he would have already reprimanded them. Anyone who dared to question the strength of the Dragon Clan would pay the price in blood. Ruler Fensai couldn't help but admire Lin Fei. He dared to say anything at a time like this. Wasn't he worried about offending them? Lin Fei had a powerful backer behind him. How could they offend him? 3 breaths have passed. Our Lord Dragon King doesn't seem willing. The Starlight ruler laughed sinisterly. He couldn't wait for Dragon King to not lower his head. He could kill them all. It would be best if he could capture some of the Dragon Clan to use as mounts. That way, he would look cool when he went out. Then we won't hold back. Men, kill them. The people behind him all attacked. Lin Fei, who was at the side, said, Dragon King, they're already bullying you. Why are you still holding it in? Just kill them. They're just 2 9-star sovereigns. If they want to live or die, it'll only take a single word. Dragon King hesitated. Lin Fei felt that he had to help Dragon King and add fuel to the fire. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to make a decision. Hairball, there is delicious food on top. You can eat as you please. Don't stand on ceremony. Lin Fei contacted Hairball, the king of appetizers. I can eat now. That's great. Hairy Ball returned to his original form. A colossus that blotted out the sun appeared in the sky. This was only because Hairy Ball had some restrictions. Otherwise, it would be even more terrifying, especially the aura of the ancient evil dragon, which made people's hearts palpitate. Hairball had been eating well recently. It was a pity that she couldn't eat giant dragons. Now that there was something delicious to eat, Furball opened his mouth and sucked in. 20 to 30 nearby cultivators were swallowed up by Furball. Then his large eyes turned and he swallowed another dozen or so cultivators. As for the attacks of these cultivators, they bounced off when they landed on Hairball's body. They were completely useless. In a few breaths, over 100 cultivators were eaten by Hairball. Starlight Dominator's heart was bleeding as he watched his subordinates being eaten. He roared, Dragon King, you dare to kill my men? You really don't know what's good for you. I'll kill you today. Dominator Feng Wanli was about the same as Starlight Dominator. In less than a few breaths, they had lost a large number of subordinates. How could they not be angry? In normal times, no one dared to not give them face anywhere in the Dark Knight galaxy. They could get whatever they wanted with just a word. Anyone who didn't agree would be dragged out and killed. Die Beast. The Starlight God took out a sword and charged forward, wanting to slay the dragon. However, when the sword struck the dragon, it bounced off, and he nearly lost his grip on it. You're quite delicious. Hairball turned back and shot out a beam of light. Starlight Dominator felt like he was being targeted by a terrifying beast. The other party opened its bloody mouth and bit at him. Crack! Starlight Dominator thought he was fast, but he was still a step slower than Hairball. Half of his body was bitten off and blood flowed. This bite scared Starlight Dominator out of his wits. Damn! How could the dragon race have such a terrifying person? The Dragon King was too treacherous. After missing its first strike, Furball pounced forward once more. Wherever it went, people would be thrown off their feet. No one could block a single attack from Furball. The Starlight Ruler dodged twice in a row, and on the third time, Furball bit him and swallowed him whole. He did not even have time to make a sound before he was finished. Old Dragon King, your subordinate killed Taoist Starlight. The dragon race is in trouble. The Lee family won't let you off. Dominator Feng Wanli's scalp went numb. The two of them were equal in strength, and it was hard for them to kill each other. But on this dragon island, he was eaten by a giant dragon. Crack! Crack! Hairball was like a big fish, swallowing a dozen cultivators at a time. No matter their realm, once they were eaten, they could only roll into the endless, bloody mouth. You're pretty tasty, too. Hairball suddenly turned around and stared at Dominator Feng Wanli. Bastard, don't come over. I'm not tasty at all. Feng Wanli was scared out of his wits. Without a word, he took out an immortal talisman and escaped into the void. Feng Wanli didn't expect this outcome. The only thing he could do now was to go back and report to the Patriarch. He had to take revenge. He couldn't care about the subordinates he brought. Being targeted by that unknown giant dragon was like falling into the abyss of death. The cultivators who had just been fighting had seen one ruler die and the other flee, as well as Furball's ferocious appetite making them restless. Now that Feng Wanli had left. How could they be in the mood to stay? Run! Run! If we don't run, that guy will come back and eat us. Hairball left a deep impression on them. You bastards, go to hell. Before those people could escape, a cold voice suddenly sounded. Long Xuanqin came out with her weapon, her face cold. Everyone kill. Don't let them leave. With Long Xuanqin's attack, the rest of the clansmen were enraged and erupted. The Dragon Clan usually suppressed themselves. Now that they attacked, with the Dominator weapons in their hands, their combat strength was extremely terrifying. The sky was filled with the shadows of the Dragon Clan. Sigh. The Dragon King glanced at Lin Fei, opened his mouth, and finally let out a sigh. Dominator Feng Sai and the others were also uneasy, especially the huge monster. It ate Dominators like drinking water, and its body was impervious to weapons. When did the Dragon Clan have such an expert? Apart from that, the Dragon Clan showed their terrifying strength for the first time. They completely crushed their opponents. The Dragon Clan's strength improved so fast. Everyone has a Dominator weapon or a Dominator battle suit. How are we going to fight? Fortunately, we didn't completely offend the Dragon Clan. Otherwise, we'll have to pay a big price when they come here. The Dragon King killed the Starlight Dominator. The Lee clan won't let the Dragon King go. The Dragon King is in big trouble now. These people communicated with their divine senses. Whoosh! Hairball came back again, biting Feng Wanli's Dominator. With a crack, she bit him in half and ate him in front of everyone. It's over. It's all over. The Dragon King's face turned pale when he saw this. They had completely offended the Lee clan and the Feng clan. Chapter 1662. Ruler Starlight and Ruler Feng Wanli were both eaten by Hairball, especially when Hairball returned with Ruler Feng Wanli in her mouth. Everyone's faces turned pale with fright. How could this be? Ruler Feng Wanli used an immortal talisman, which should be considered spatial movement. Yet he was still captured. Everyone was terrified. Dragon King, those fellows deserve to die. Even if they don't die today, they will die sooner or later. Don't worry about it. Lin Fei chuckled. Dragon King almost cursed, but he held it in. Even if he told everyone that they didn't do it, no one would believe him. After all, Hairball was exactly the same as the Dragon Patriarch. Only her killing aura was heavier. Dragon King couldn't stop everyone with so many people present. Perhaps it wouldn't be long before the nobles of Galaxy City came to settle the score. Dragon King didn't have any confidence against two half-step celestial gods. In a short while, the people brought by Ruler Starlight and Ruler Feng Wanli were all dead. Most of them were eaten by Hairball. Ruler Feng Sai and the others didn't dare to stay for long. They were truly frightened. If the dragon race wanted to seal the news and keep them here, it would be a huge loss. If not for Lin Fei, they might not be afraid. Now, there was Lin Fei and a man-eating dragon race. They couldn't help but worry. It was better to leave as soon as possible. Dragon King could only watch as they left. Lin Fei, you really put me in a difficult position. After they left, Dragon King's head drooped. If you want to leave through the teleportation array, you might have to postpone it indefinitely. Could it be related to the Li clan and the Feng clan? The Dragon King couldn't understand why Lin Fei would make a move. In the end, his own clansmen would also attack. Even if he said that he wasn't the one who ordered it, no one present would believe him. Seeing was believing. No one would doubt it. The Li clan, the Feng clan, and the Wang clan are the three rulers of Galaxy City. They are the three strongest factions in Dark Knight Galaxy. The teleportation array is controlled by them. Lin Fei didn't care. Even a true heavenly god wouldn't be that powerful, so it wouldn't be difficult to deal with them. If they don't agree, I'll kill them as well. Lin Fei smiled and said, "By the way, Lord Dragon King, you seem to know what these two people do. Can you tell me?" The Dragon King had never seen such a bold person before. When he thought of the 18 low-grade divine artifacts that the other party had, he felt a wave of envy and jealousy. If he had such strength, he wouldn't have to worry about the three aristocrats. How to deal with the three aristocratic families was still a headache. The good mood of earning a large sum of money from them disappeared with this matter. The Dragon King was left with bitterness and helplessness. Was he going to run away again? The Dragon King quickly suppressed the thought. They are all raiders of the Dark Knight Galaxy. They have many talented subordinates and are very powerful. The Dragon King gave a brief explanation. Raiders? I like this one. Lin Fei also learned from the Dragon King that they were arranged by the two aristocratic families to do some secret things for them. This secret was only known to the elites. Do you know where they are hiding? The Dragon King understood what Lin Fei was going to do. After the battle, the Dragon Island immediately went into a state of martial law. Lin Fei left Hairball on the Dragon Island while he went out with the Dragon King. Even if a half-step heavenly god came with Hairball's defense, she would be able to block the opponent's attack. Even if a half-step heavenly god couldn't be killed, it would be easy to kill the people they brought. In a remote place in the Dark Knight Galaxy, the Dragon King brought Lin Fei to the Starlight Dominator's lair. Layers upon layers of restrictive formations were set up on the outside. The Starlight Dominator's lair is below. Are you going to force your way in? The Dragon King admired Lin Fei's courage. After killing people, he still wanted to destroy the lair. Of course I'm going in. Do we need them to invite us in? Lin Fei turned into a giant. He grabbed a golden hammer and smashed it at the restrictive formation. The restrictive formation was full of ripples. Both of them were very strong. Although the restrictive formation outside was strong, it was still broken mercilessly by the two of them. They rushed all the way to the lair, scaring the guards. Since when did anyone dare to break into the lair? Everyone knew that this was the Li family's secret place. We are Starlight Dominator's men. You want to kill you, of course. Lin Fei released 18 doppelgangers and attacked the sky full of people. The 18 clones, armed to the teeth, were like ferocious tigers descending the mountain, sweeping through everything in their path. No one was a match for the clones. The attacks of inferior grade divine equipment, even if they were just normal attacks, could easily break through the defense of the battle suits and kill them. The Starlight Dominator's lair was in a massacre. The Dragon King was going all out. Even if Lin Fei dragged the dragon race into this, he couldn't beat them and could only watch. He still hoped to continue working with Lin Fei, not just once. The Dragon King was ruthless when he killed. In less than 15 minutes, the lair was cleared out. Lin Fei naturally went to plunder. How could a plunderer not have a lot of wealth? After searching for a while, Lin Fei found a treasury and forced his way in. He obtained a batch of treasures. In Lin Fei's eyes, they were all ordinary goods. The ruler's weapons were also very crude, and he didn't even spare them a glance. Take these weapons. Lin Fei generously gave the ruler weapons and some other things to the Dragon King. I have a share too. The Dragon King had high standards. However, the things here weren't bad either. If he used them to exchange for mines, he could get a lot. When he heard this, his heart shook and he found it hard to believe. Why would you think that? Without you leading the way, I wouldn't have been able to find this place alone. Lin Fei kept the mines and other things. In his eyes, this was the most important thing to him. The Dragon King didn't stand on ceremony and kept them. After sweeping the place up and down, Lin Fei destroyed everything here. Then he went to Feng Wanli's lair. He couldn't miss out on either place. Just like before, Lin Fei easily charged into the lair. The 18 doppelgangers started a massacre. The Dragon King, who had the sweet taste from before, was also in high spirits. When it was time to split the spoils, it was the same as before. Other than the mines, almost everything else went to the Dragon King. This made the Dragon King smile from ear to ear. This is when they were collecting the mines. Lin Fei discovered that the quality of the holy stone was very good. It wasn't an ordinary low, middle, or high-quality holy stone, but a top-grade holy stone. There were a lot of these top-grade holy stone. They were piled up like a mountain, and every piece was very big. This was also the first time Lin Fei had seen a top-grade holy stone. This is a top-grade holy stone. The Dragon King could not help but exclaim, "Looks like the rumors are true. The Feng clan controls the top-grade holy stone vein. These top-grade holy stones should be sent to the main house. Are you sure there's a top-grade holy stone vein?" Lin Fei couldn't help but be moved. This was much better than a high-grade holy stone vein. If it was exchanged for energy points, it would definitely be a terrifying number. He had to get his hands on it. There should be. Back then, there was a rumor. The Dragon King explained, "It's a pity that he's dead now, so it's not easy to ask. Otherwise, I would really have the chance to find out where the top-grade holy stone vein is." That's simple. Lin Fei swept through the lair and immediately returned to the Dragon Island. He pulled up Hairball, who was sleeping soundly, and asked him to pull out the memories of the Starlight Dominator and Feng Wanli Dominator. "Master, you woke me up with this kind of thing," Hairball muttered. After being hit by Lin Fei, he spat out 2 fragments. "Look for yourself." Lin Fei picked up the fragment. This is a memory fragment, an innate skill of the primordial evil dragon. As long as he is willing, he can eat any memory of a person. There was indeed a secret place in Feng Wanli's memories. It was a space. Inside was a secret stronghold of the Feng clan, where they were constantly collecting top-grade holy stone veins. Most importantly, it wasn't a vein, but a few mountains of top-grade holy stone. My God, how did I find out? Looking at the mountains in the memory fragment, Lin Fei secretly rejoiced that he went to the lair. Otherwise, he wouldn't have known that such a good thing was waiting for him. Dragon King was also very surprised. He had a look of realization. No wonder the Feng clan's old ancestor broke through so quickly. He obtained the top-grade holy stone, which allowed him to quickly cultivate the divine body and become a half-step heavenly god. This half-step heavenly god was actually cultivating the divine body. Once the divine body was formed, even a regular ruler would find it hard to break it. This was the greatest advantage of a ruler. You know this place, right? Looking at the shadow in the sky, Lin Fei turned around and asked, I know. It's good that you know. Lead the way. Lin Fei said straightforwardly, I won't let you come here for nothing. I can give you 10 top-grade ruler weapons or battle armor. You can choose. Dragon King had seen rich people before. However, those who could casually take out 10 top-grade ruler weapons were few and far between. No wonder Dragon King was moved. No choice, Dragon King was too poor. After killing the Li clan and Feng clan's people, Dragon King was even more uneasy. Leave Dark Night Star River? It was not that easy. Maybe somewhere they were waiting for them. There was no place for them in the entire Dark Night Star River. If he could get Lin Fei's help, he might be able to survive. As long as Lin Fei could block the 2 half-step heavenly gods, the rest would not be a problem. The 2 half-step heavenly gods were what Dragon King was most afraid of. Without them, Dragon King had the confidence to deal with them. Leading the way is what I should do. Dragon King said. Lin Fei laughed. I said, I'll give it to you. I have always been a good person to my friends. Dragon King cursed. With a friend like you, I don't even know when I'm being cheated. Dragon King naturally did not dare to say these words. While those people had not reacted, Lin Fei and Dragon King left Dragon Island again and went to a small space in Dark Night Star River to collect the top-grade Holy Stone Mountain. The news of the killings on Dragon Island spread out immediately.